You did that. You crushed the Minotaur and get the living crap kicked out of you by the buzzing Obsidian. Luckily, Pudge was here to save you again. Mike already said he used the spray to slow them down and weaken them. You finally defeated them, and the whole time Jack's just like, you know how I can help out here? By not being here. Toodles. And so he started running up the stairs to leave the fight. Now, in the actual doorway, in the actual like entranceway to leave the cave is where the spectral creature was. The spectral creature cannot currently see Jack because Jack is invisible. And it's like, I'm going to sneak past that and whoop, he did. He didn't go up there to talk to the spectral thing. He went up there to leave. I don't honestly don't recall why. I'm hoping we jar Mike's memory because he actually did like a dexterity check or whatever it was and slipped past the spectral thing up there without getting noticed, and then continued running down the hallway. His most recent check that he made was actually a perception check, which was him trying to like listen back or hear whatever was happening back down the hallway or looking ahead. But I can't remember exactly what his plan was and why he was leaving the cave. Back down, like I said, you guys just defeated the swarm. And so there's just the Gordian, this other like big hulking thing, not quite the Minotaur, this one seeming to be more refined, was making its way down the stairwell. Pudge was no longer on the ceiling. He had made his way back to the floor. I honestly don't remember why he's back on the floor, but he's there. And the thing was coming up towards Pudge.
I think I attacked, didn't I? Didn't I drop from the ceiling onto it?
That's right. You dropped from the ceiling onto something. It wasn't quite this creature, is one of the other ones, and now you're on the floor. But it's very likely your spider climb is still active, so you might still be able to run up because I mean it lasts for minutes. I want to say 3 minutes per level.
I think it's 7 minutes total.
7 minutes total? Okay, cool. Because Mike's level 7, I think he's the one that made it for you. And it hasn't been 7 minutes of time with all the investigation and everything because combat happens while you're up there investigating. Or maybe it was, that's right. It was the very tail end of Spider Climb. That's why you dropped down and did your awesome attack. Because you're investigating up there and seeing the holes that were up there as well. That's right. So you're on the ground. The thing was circling its way down the stairs towards you. You can see on you guys' map for viewers, about 15 feet away from you as it's coming closer. It's a large-sized creature, so much closer than that, and things are getting dangerous. At the top of the stairwell, over by the entrance to this cavern, is the spectral creature. Jack had past that thing and was running off.
I wasn't trying to go talk to it.
I know you went up towards it and then you slipped past it.
I think I slipped past it to get away and maybe have him turn and face me or something, but I don't think I was going to leave the cave. I think, Jack, if memory serves, Jack's thought is if this creature, the specter, is like if it's a spirit, then I need to freaking talk to it. If this is its home and this is its way of like presenting itself or whatever, bargain with it, see if what it wants, and see if it's in our best interest to either maybe kill this thing or work with it.
Did you already speak with it, maybe? Did you need to talk to the townspeople to get them to agree to stop mining or something? So that would,
I don't think I talked to it yet. I don't think so. We made the assumption that the mining is what agitated it, obviously.
No. There was conversation with it. That's right. You did speak to it. Because it was talking about, you could tell that it had rage, it had fury.
That's right. Okay.
All those details. You actually did procure that information at this point. Thank you, Wade. Is it a viewer that told you that?
I swear I thought you were making your way out of the cave and you'd been running for some time.
I agree. He had been running for some time. He had already slipped past the thing.
Oh! Was I really going to do that, though?
I don't know what you were leaving the cave to do. I don't remember.
They'll be fine. Bye.
I don't even know if you told us what you were going to do. I can't remember.
It's a long way out of the cave, though, so it's going to take you a while. So I think we're going to have a repeat of last night's session. You sit there, Mike. I'll take care of this.
No, I think, and this could be, I could be way wrong.
In this scenario, you're Tyler.
My guess is that I was probably going to go out to the lady running this camp, and just kill her and bring her back for the specter and be like, it's done, like leave the town alone. Because the innocents don't, like for Jack, it's the innocents are innocents. They're here, they're working, this is their job. But she's the one that realizes that there's something going wrong in the cave, and she keeps sending innocents in anyway. It's like these people are like currency.
I don't think it was to kill her. I think it was to convince her to stop sending people down in general, and if you had to kill her.
Okay, yeah, something along those lines. So that's if that's not what it was, that's what it is now, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, maybe you'll think of it, because I remembered most of that stuff while we were having our quick pre-show conversation. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So, wow, that was a while of chatting. Everybody remember where they were?
Who they were?
Where everybody remember where they are?
Oh, where they are, yes.
You had just given me a potion of full health and restoring all my temp dex damage.
That's right. That's right. I think I said go fuck yourself. That's right. I remember that.
Which I translated as to I'm healing all my damage.
See, in this scenario, you are Vice Lord and I'm Beishra. You're lying on the ground, and don't worry, there'll be a tree one day.
I hate you.
All right. So, anyways, you are standing there. Mortimer had just had his turn, which is fine because I see on here. My apologies. I see on here that Pudge made his attack. So I actually think I overclicked by accident. That's right, because we stopped with the Pudge making his attack rolls and killing the swarm. The swarm is destroyed. So if we actually look at initiative, if you guys scroll up for a second for the most recent rolls, you can see that Pudge made his attacks. He's the bottom of initiative, destroyed the swarm. So that's the end of that. I think literally that one attack that he did there, the one with the 21, destroy the swarm. Then he made his next 2 attacks, I believe, against the large creature that was coming towards him. And those 2 attacks missed. And you guys are like, why did a 21 and a 22 miss? That's not good. I don't like that. and then I overclicked initiative because Mortimer should be right after Pudge. So we're actually top of initiative. It's actually your turn, Mortimer. And for everybody on YouTube, sorry I had to listen to all that. Hopefully somebody links where this point is right now. Okay? So you just click on that.
Great, my turn. That's what I wanted. I knew exactly what I was going to do with my turn, so that's why I was prepared for it to be my turn. Love my turn. With my turn, I am going to use it to do a turn-like thing. I'm going to die is what I'm going to do.
All right, cool. Awesome.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. This has been.
I guess I'm gonna go attack this stupid thing. I have 1 PowerPoint left. It looks like.
Well, Pudge, if he dies, that just means meat.
Oh, well, yeah, but only on holidays.
Oh,
Right, you're just a holiday eater. Yeah.
That's right. Oh God, that's so awesome.
Mortimer's death will be a celebrated holiday all across the land.
When tradition calls for it, Pudge will eat the meat. Sure. Not normally, you know.
For his enemies would celebrate Mortimer's death.
I keep it kosher. Wink, wink.
Fudge, brownies, dessert. Do I use my 1 point to hit this thing, or do I use this 1 point to enlarge?
That's all you got is the 1 point left?
I've got 1 power point and 6 mythic points, but I've got no health, and I've got a -7 temporary dex right now, so my dex score is a 5. So
that's from all the poisons that were happening from the buzzards.
My AC is utter garbage right now, and if I get hit like once from this thing, I'm probably done for.
That's right, because Pudge is -3 dex as well. Poor Pudge.
That's probably why you're not on the ceiling anymore.
Huh?
I think it's because he spent most of the ceiling time investigating the ceiling, and so it was kind of like, okay, it's me ending soon. I'm gonna run in.
Did you open that, Scott, or was that already open?
That was me.
Okay. No, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I think that's what I was going to do now that I see this.
Wait. What are you talking about then?
An ability.
Oh, I clicked over to main, check your decks to see if you're missing something, clicked right back.
Oh, no. Okay. Gotcha.
This thing moves really slowly, if I remember right?
It is not particularly fast, if I remember correctly. Normal speed.
Is it really? Because I remember it like trudging like a step at a time towards people.
That was the big one, wasn't it?
Like this is the big one.
Big boy.
Isn't that what
This
is?
isn't the big boy. We defeated the big boy, right?
Yeah. This is the one that was the more dense, better formed one that was summoned as the creature showed up. As the ghost creature showed up,
We
it literally
killed
grabbed a whole bunch of
big.
Yeah,
we
Minotaur.
killed the giant minotaur, and then the ghost dude.
So what the hell is this thing?
That's what we were talking about, Wade.
Oh, I didn't listen.
Oh, well, you know. Get fucked.
All right, well, I guess I'm gonna go attack it because that's what I do. Mortimer shall not be defeated on this day.
I remember you explicitly saying that you did not want to use your, because I checked the very end of the VOD. I remember you explicitly saying you wanted to save your, because you have what, one?
PowerPoint, yeah.
Not PowerPoint, the other one.
I have 6 mythic points.
Oh, you have 6 mythic. Okay, cool. Then I think it was just like your reaction, sorry, your immediate action you were trying to save.
I'm trying to save my mythic point to sudden block because I need to not be hit.
Correct. So that means you're not going to use your bonus action this turn because you need it to use it for your immediate action.
Yeah, so I'm going to go try to hit this thing. This is Obsidian as well, right?
Correct, sir.
So I still want to use my maul, not the great axe, because blunt is better than slashing or piercing or whatever the hell this is. So, I'm going to go and swing my maul at it. This is me doing that.
Whoa, Jesus.
Jeez, I forgot how that worked.
I forgot you roll all your dice all the
Oh,
That
time.
literally scared me because it was like a.
I clicked on the name, not the attack. Should I just click the attack roll to hit?
Just click the attack roll to hit, which means you get a reroll, you douche.
Did I hit? I don't even know what I rolled.
That's
Is it-
12.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna click the right button and roll properly. 21.
Is there anything you can use to modify that roll, sir?
There sure is. I can surge.
Is that a bonus action or is that a non-action? It
We
might be
went
a
over this
free-
last time. I'm allowed to see the result of the die before I decide if I want to use it.
Nope, and I get to tell you that it is a miss with a 21, but it is a actual action for you to use the surge. We're just double checking this ability. Well literally, we
You
play
spend
this
one
session
unit
once.
power to increase any d20 roll you just made by rolling 1d6 and adding to the result. Using this ability is an immediate action taken after the result.
So if you use your immediate action for this, you won't be able to use your whatever it's called.
Is that an immediate?
Sudden block, yeah. As an immediate action, sudden block is as well. I don't know why it's written twice. It's really weird, but okay.
So I could have added a d8 to the roll. Oh, fudge brownies. Well, I'd rather use my sudden block than hit it with this. Yeah, I'm going to save it.
Versus surge, which is this one. That's weird that it's doing things twice, but I'm just gonna there we go, take care of that. That would only show one moving forward. Yay. All right, so you're gonna use your surge, you're gonna keep your sudden block.
I'm going to keep sudden block. I can't afford to be hit.
Awesome. Because you're adding your tier to your AC, which I think your tier is what, 3?
We're tier 4,
Tier 4, so you just add 4 to your AC.
which I'm going to need every little bit of because my stupid dex is a -3 right now.
Okay. So you are swinging the creature, mortal smash, and miss. Do you have a second attack roll or no? Because you're still too low level.
I don't
believe-
yet.
Yeah, not until next level unless you're using a magic item or something, right?
Yeah, you told us we'd level up after the next episode and we could have it.
I don't think I said that.
I'll have to go back and watch the whole VOD because I know chat.
You
You know,
have
you
to
said
go
it's
back and
something
watch
VOD.
the entire VOD.
I don't have chat open, so
That's not. Wow, Scott doesn't love you.
that's
Wade
fine.
does.
So go ahead, Wade. You swing with your axe with your hammer, and it's not that your hammer doesn't hit. You know, you swing the thing, mortar for smash, sort of a thing. But then this massive creature, this massive obsidian creature, throws its forearms up like a cross guard and catches the hammer just shy of the head. So you have like the head coming like between its wrists and between its hands. And it catches thing and like slows it down, so it's almost like a small hit onto its head, but not enough to actually do any damage. After Mortifer's, that's his only turn. It's going to actually then be the spirit creature's turn, the spectral creature's turn.
The spirit creature.
Now, the spectral creature was doing magic-y stuff with the obsidian before and was kind of fluffing with you guys in ways that you didn't like, which is exactly what it's going to do right now. You can see all of a sudden it starts reaching to the wall adjacent to it, where the obsidian over there is nearly depleted, but it pulls out some obsidian. It's like it starts pulling obsidian from the wall and then just starts swirling it around. So it's almost like a mist of like sand that's in front of it. It starts swirling. And then it throws it forward in this huge blast that just sends it coming across. You know, you can imagine being caught in a sandstorm of fine obsidian powder and how that would feel. Absolutely wonderful. For it to successfully do this, though, it actually moves closer the first time it's done this. So it actually moves down the stairwell. So it's actually along the edge of the stairs over near to where you are, Wade, and then throws this in your direction. I need you to make for me a reflex save, sir.
Oh god, that better not be dex based.
It is, of course.
Great. Here's my -1 modifier.
Hey, so I tickle that 20.
Anybody that watched last night's episode, the dice did like the same thing to get an 8.
Okay, so you are going to take
Just tell me I'm dead because I probably am.
where are my macros? Why are they not on here? That's weird. Let me just do this. A combination of piercing and slashing damage equal to 21, but I believe you have some amount of DR because you're maintaining sonic focus, aren't you?
Yeah, so I take 19. Woohoo!
Or less. So as that spray comes spraying and kind of like just like ripping apart your skin and slashing you up and whatnot.
Cool. Ethan, I'm at 6 health points. Help me.
Jack, You keep running. Pudge.
Pudge's turn. I don't have any PowerPoints, do I? Nope. I don't think so. Nope. Okay, sick. So, what even? I don't remember anything about anything. What can Pudge do? Can
This thing
Pudge?
hadn't attacked us the entire time, had it?
Oh yeah. He's recently joined into the combat.
Great.
Because he got formed in front. Remember, he kind of like was creating it.
Okay. What do I want to do? Wait, I don't even know if I can help you at all. Even if I wanted to.
I think you're either down to running or attacking.
All right. Well, I don't have any.
You've got no power points left, so I guess you're just on basic attacks.
Yeah. Do we know how much HP this has?
You have no idea how much HP either of those creatures in front of you have.
All
The
right.
one that's more of a threat to me right now is the robed man in the back.
Hmm.
He's a magic caster, and I can't block. I can't use sudden block on that.
All right. I'm gonna
So if
gonna
he takes
try
that
and
one off, I
join
can get
Jack.
rid of it.
So I'm gonna go and run. Maybe I try and do a sweet little move through his long legs to get past the monster. Wait, I can't do anything for you. What do you want me to do?
He could try and attack the ghost.
What do you want me to do?
Pudge,
No,
Pudge,
no,
you're making the right
Pudge,
call, Pudge. Don't worry about it.
You do you, buddy. It's
Yeah,
okay.
don't worry
I
about it.
will do me.
Everyone disliked that. Mortifer will remember that.
Hashtag.
Not everyone disliked it. I liked it because I can't fucking do anything good, dude.
Do I have a magic knife? I don't think so.
All right, so Pudge, you have to make an acrobatics check to make sure that you abandon Bayshore here. I mean,
Cool. Stop.
How do I do that again? I don't remember how to do anything.
I felt bad for Tyler last night. Spoiler alert.
How do I? I don't remember how to use
My
both of
favorite
them.
character in all of D&D that I've played, tabletop that I've played, is about to be fucking destroyed.
It's slash roll, right?
You know what? It's Yeah. Well, what are you trying to do?
Acrobatics check.
Just click on acrobatics in the skill list.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Wait,
My
unlike
holy
Faerun,
friend is out of arrows.
unlike Faerun, it's going to be way harder to bring you back in Dark Sun.
So you're gonna roll me, sir. If you're doing the acrobatics check, it's Oh, hey, that's a really good check. It's a really good check. So you're able to easily slip by the creature in front of you and start making your way up there. Now your speed is what? Where's your speed in your character sheet? Oh, I see HP. I see AC. I see initiative. It's actually probably over here. Configuration. Speed. Base speed is 20 feet, which makes sense. So your speed is 20. Yes. So you're able to start moving and running your way around the creature in front of you. You're clearly going to double move. So it's going to be aren't you clicking? That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, allowing you to slip your way all the way up and past that guardian creature, the big, massive creature, and standing over adjacent to the caster creature, the one that's
Punch it in the dick.
oh, well,
Does
he has
he-
double move.
Does he see me?
Well, you are not invisible, like Jack was.
Okay. All right.
So you are literally, it is on a ledge where it had just cast down. You would double move to get up there. You do still have a bonus or immediate action. I don't know if you can do anything with your bonus or immediate action.
But if I remember
Swift
correctly,
action.
Jack tried to attack last time, and his attack didn't do anything. Is that right?
No, Jack didn't attack because he was invisible.
I tried to communicate with it. That's like the only thing I tried to do.
Oh, okay.
I got the impression that it's clearly angry.
For a second, I thought I had one.
Sorry. I'm going to go back for a second. Click away. Hide in plain sight. If you expend your sonic focus,
Oh, but you lose.
shield
Don't
yourself.
you lose something if you do that?
Yeah, his is different than yours. He loses psionic shot for him. That's not the end of the world for him. That's just +1 damage.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
You can expend your focus and roll
I've
me.
been looking forward to this for a month just so I could die in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I spent 45 minutes of reminding people. They all knew. Roll me a stealth check, sir.
Me. That's me.
Yep. And we'll describe how this plays out. It's not first page, main page.
Oh, it's on the main page.
Yep. And then scroll all the way down, right hand corner.
Same thing as
I
acrobatics.
can like barely use a mouse with my cast.
Oh, that's your right hand, buddy. I'm sorry.
13. So 31.
So all of a sudden, you're looking at this creature. You're looking at the scenario. Now, let's be serious. This big guy over here, you just met him. And you're like, yeah, I'll help out with this job. This sounds like I got hired for this job. You got hired for this job. Let's help each other out in this job. It's a good idea. Your buddy abandoned us. I don't know you that well. Deuces. And I imagine your character is just thinking either self-preservation or maybe you have something else up your sleeve that we're just not able to see into the mind of Ethan yet. But you just expend your focus, which is literally you just kind of like take a deep breath, close your eyes, inhale, and as you exhale, you can just release this pulse of energy around you that just disrupts, not you, not literally light bending around you. It disrupts the minds of everything else around you. It disrupts their ability to perceive you, making you effectively turn invisible. They're just not, for some reason, their eye just can't focus on where you are. And then you just start quietly running as quickly as you can up them stairs. And you do, and you stop adjacent to that creature. And it can't even see you. It doesn't even know that you're there as you're like, last quiet step and get ready to kind of like bolt it past the creature. Pudge, that's your turn.
Pudge's turn again?
No, that was your turn.
Oh, that was my turn. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the big creature's turn. It sees Pudge run off, and it's like it sees him just run off. Doesn't have any reaction. Just starts making its way down the stairs over towards where you are, sir. Of course.
What potion did I give you again, Wade, when I left?
He didn't really give you a potion.
I thought I gave him something.
Yeah, the middle finger. Wade, it finishes making its way all the way down into rounds to get into an area where it can attack you. But if you saw how much I had to move, it actually moves about 40 feet to be able to get to a range where it can attack you. Now, important thing to note is that as it's making that range up to, as it's making that attempt to come up to you, it actually passes through one of your threatened areas because you have a reach weapon. So you can actually make an attack of opportunity against it as it approaches.
And I will. Oh, I clicked the wrong button again. Don't count that. Whatever it is, don't count it.
Oh, it's just crit. Ugh, you're lucky.
Okay, well, I rolled 2 17s there, so I guess that hit.
Wow, that definitely hit there, sir.
And that's the damage. There's a lot of ones in there.
Guys.
That's rough. So it's just your basic damage because you're basic size.
Actually, only one of those ones was part of my original damage.
So you do 20 points of damage to the creature. Now, I don't think it has any form of damage reduction or anything like that. Just double checking. Cool. So it takes 20 points of damage.
Great. Take that.
Its whole turn was literally just moving up to you because that's what happened. That's why it was never able to attack beforehand. That's because it just kept moving forward and never actually got a chance. That's the last chance of that. That's the last time that's going to happen. It's now Mortifer's turn.
So glad that I didn't use my spell last time because I was saving that sudden block. Really proud of that. Man. Yikes. So am I tall enough to hit this robed figure up on the cliff from where I'm at?
If you move over ever so slightly, yes, you can.
Am I in range? I'm in range of this other thing, though, so it would get an attack of opportunity, right?
Yes, you will. Yes, it will. But then you can use your sudden block on it.
Yeah, then I don't have it for the next time it hits me, though. Well, the robed dude's going to kill me next round no matter what I do, unless I can one-shot it. So, I might have to take that chance. But then that thing's going to kill me. Either way, I'm dead. Who do I want to die to?
You don't die right away. It's not like you drop and then you're just dead.
It's fine.
Unless you're brought to negative your constitution.
Correct.
What's your constitution?
16.
So you have to be negative 16 to just die.
Which is very likely considering how much damage did I just take last time? It was a lot more than that.
Oh, when I did the spell against you, 19.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm at 6 right now. All right. Well,
Well, do you have anything you can burn any mythic points on?
I was looking. My mythic skills. There's nothing to, as far as healing goes. I can surge to do something.
What does surging give you again?
Just a 1d8 on a d20 roll.
A d20.
Ooh.
I mean, that could be good to just run.
Hold on, wait a second. What's your reach with the weapon? I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I trick something. Because again, it's been a long time since we played. Your reach is here. So your reach with your weapon is, because you're large size, your natural reach is 10. But you have a reach weapon, so it's 20 feet. So you actually got to make 2 attacks of opportunity against that creature as it moved up to you.
Oh, I get to hit it one more time?
Wait, I'm just making sure. So, because you're here. So 1, 2. You actually got in the second attack of opportunity, and the reason why you got that, just to be clear, I was just looking over your abilities, is you chose to take the feat mythic combat reflex. You go to combat reflexes and mythic combat reflexes, if I remember correctly.
I didn't realize that it came into range twice.
I didn't die there, and so you actually it triggered 2 attacks of opportunity against you because you have combat reflexes and mythic. So bam, cool.
Well, then here's number 2. A crit would be nice. That's not a crit. Neither one of those is a crit.
Nope. But because that was on that creature's turn, that was last round, that was that creature's turn, you could have actually, if it's an immediate action to modify that roll, you could have used an immediate action last turn to modify that roll. And then your turn marks the top of initiative again. Yep. Sorry, rules lawyery. I know it's super exciting for everybody.
That takes me down to 5. I don't know what its AC is.
So what are you doing, surging?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I could do on it, so yeah.
Okay. Just remembering all the ridiculous mechanics of Mortifer. But
21.
a 21 is a sad miss.
I figured as much.
But I got to steal a surge point.
Do you have hard to kill?
Yeah, but that just means if I go to 0, I get to get back up 1.
It also means that in order to die, you have to hit double your con score in negatives, not just your regular.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I definitely took that
In
one.
addition, you don't die until your total number of negative hit points is equal to or greater
Why
than
is everything
double your constitution.
Double description.
So you don't die at
I
negative
have-
16, you die at negative 32.
I put that in the description, but I also have it on the short description so I can see it.
Oh, okay, so it's popping up twice because you put
That's
it
why
in
it's popped up
twice.
twice, because I moved it to short
There you go.
description after it was already put in.
Oh, okay. So then you just have to unclick all the descriptions. That's
So
why
it's even harder to kill you than initially.
Actually,
You're not gonna
don't you
die.
also have this? Hold on.
Do you have ferocity?
Yes, somewhere. Sorry, everybody. I've got a lot of shit to read.
It's
through.
Pathfinder, and we haven't played in like a month or more, so we're
I
just.
think you have ferocity because of the gloves that you're wearing.
Yeah, I do.
The gloves that you're wearing, they give you like Elfbane and stuff like that. Which elves are more or less an extinct. No, they still exist. Sorry, the gauntlets that you're wearing, the artifact gauntlets of the priestess of the sorceress queen, are what gave you this. So gain the ferocity ability, which allows you to remain conscious and continue fighting, even if their health points are below 0. You are still staggered at 0, and lose 1 health point each round as normal. So that just means you get to stay on your feet a little bit longer, but still die.
Yep.
Once when you're unconscious, you're usually not a target. Ferocity makes it so you stay a target.
All right, so
I was like, thanks for reminding me, Mike, because I remember he had the other one.
Yep.
okay, so
That's
here's
why I
what
was
I'm
just
gonna do.
trying to figure out how he won't die.
I am going to step away to go hit this robed guy, and take that attack of opportunity.
Okay. Are you sure?
If
You
that
should,
if
Rebecca.
that dude shoots me in the ass again, I can't block that.
Okay.
No, I don't think Mortifer would. Mortifer's not smart enough to think of that. He would just attack. He's just swinging his hammer, whatever's closest. Wade wants to run. Mortifer would not. Mortifer will stay and fight.
Okay.
I can respect that.
Mortifer wouldn't turn his back on a melee enemy to go fight some coward shooting shit from the back. He would stand there and take the other fight. So that's what he will do. Mortifer will not go down. That dice just knocked the other dice over, and I'm not happy about that.
Well, why are you complaining? You got a 26.
Because it was a 16 that turned to an 8.
Yeah, but the 16 is what counted.
Oh, did it count? Okay, I watched the other dice turn it over, and I was not pleased. I was very upset when I saw that. All right, and that roll looks better. Well, it is for everything else. 21 for this one. The only one I rolled is on this.
That's how it works.
21 more points.
Okay, that's actually pretty decent. That's a good hit. It's a good hit, sir. Anything else you're doing with your turn?
I don't think I can. There's nothing else I go. I'm trying to figure out something to do with that stupid wizard. No, I'm just going to end up taking it to the ass, it looks like.
What's your AC? It's gotta be really low.
It's 15 right now. It's not good.
Mm-mm.
See, I'm immune to inhaled poisons, but those two that swarmed didn't count as inhaled, so therefore all that dex damage counted.
Should have just snorted them as they approach. Just take them all in.
Yeah, there's nothing else I can do as far as I know. It's hard to come back in for the first time and playing for a month and a half or whatever it is, and immediately have to know all of my abilities and skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rough for all of us. Except for Mike, who's like, bye!
Wait, what do you
You
mean,
understand,
Mike?
Ethan, you don't understand.
What is Jack-
Yesterday, our session yesterday, he's like, oh, you guys want to go off and go in a big fight without me? I'll just say
That wasn't yesterday. That was
And this session,
2
he's like,
sessions
oh, I'm just gonna
ago.
run away from this combat.
And again, that was from last session.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your stupid excuses, Mike. We all know how you play now.
20 years of playing D&D with me, Scott.
You're
You're
the
figuring it out
NPC,
now.
The non-playing character.
All right, enough talking. Just kill me with the wizard.
Okay, so now it's the caster's turn, and the caster's going to start using a spell. Mortifer, I need you to roll me a reflex save.
Oh, shoot.
Hey! There you go, Wade.
This is to
You're
all
never
three of you.
allowed to
This is
complain
to
again.
everyone who's being low to this fucking cave. Especially Pudge, who I was like, Pudge, you take out the caster, and I'd look over and he's like,
No, you don't. You look over and like, way to go. Way to go.
bow! A
We-
bow!
Which way did
Yeah,
you go,
but we
George?
don't
Which way
know.
did you go?
We don't know anything about it. I'm not, and I don't have
It
any
shot me in
PowerPoint.
the ass with some rocks!
Yeah, but I don't know anything
Wait,
about it, and I
wait.
don't have any PowerPoint, so why would I
Wait.
take the risk? I don't know you.
It's
Ethan's
fine.
injured. Ethan's injured. You be nice to him, Wade.
He's
Yeah,
lost
You be
Wade.
nice to
11
him.
hit points.
No, look at him.
No,
Look at his arm.
real life. How
Yeah.
dare you?
Well, what's the matter with you?
You know
How
what I do with my
dare
right
you?
hand?
How
I do
dare
this.
you be that way? Oh, wait, you are a terrible person.
I can't even do that.
Yeah, see, he can't even do it back.
I can't even defend myself.
Wow, Wade, you're fucked up. Fucked up. Oh man, you lose a health point.
Here, double
But,
dose.
you lose a
No,
health. A pebble falls, lose
I'm
a
not
health
taking
point.
it. I'm giving
Damn,
myself
you're
a health
TR2.
point for all this
You're
abuse
TR2.
I'm taking.
Absorb it. All right. So, anyways, the creature. It's the creature's turn. It starts not from behind it because it had expired the amount of obsidian in the wall behind it, which I had said last round. It actually starts reaching into the ground by your feet and pulling up a ton of obsidian. And it starts pulling it up and almost making like obsidian boots around your feet and starting to try to get them to like wrap up around your feet and around your ankles and work its way up your calves. But Mortifer's like, no, and like pulls one of his feet out like all really hard, anchoring with one foot and ripping up with his other one. He's able to pull his foot out and then use the heel of that foot and stomp so hard down on the other foot that he shatters through the obsidian and hurts his own foot. And so he's able to kind of like hop up and down. No, I'm just kidding. And he's able to step out of the way as the continuing obsidian reaches up and trying to grab at his feet. He's able to just kind of step out of the way of it and give big boots and just shatter the obsidian that's trying to grab around his feet and avoid it entirely until finally it slows down and stops. Jack, it's your turn. You keep running because you're awesome. Pudge, it's your turn.
How long does it take to get out of this cave?
My turn.
Long time, buddy. Do you remember how long it took to get down here?
No. Because most of the time we were like, you go in, you're back to where you were. How long does it take to get out of here?
Long time. We were talking about minutes before.
All right, I'm gonna.
You had like 100 rounds, Mike.
I'm gonna
Really?
follow-
Oh, wouldn't I? If it was, that's just a dumb me
I
choice.
I described to you last time. I know that. I was like, it's a long way, Mike. Like, no, it's fine. It's worth it.
All right, you
Mortifer's
tell
fine.
me.
He has more than minutes. He has seconds left.
You tell me if I can do this or not. Wait, I don't think I can. We'll see.
If
All
it
right, so I
requires
want to.
PowerPoints,
I want to run out and follow Jack, but as I'm running out, just to appease Mortifer, I want to turn back around and just try and shoot one last shot into this sweet little ghost boy.
Let's see if your shot is as successful as mine.
Wait, is this the ghost that's casting? I thought this was something that's the ghost summoned.
This is the summoning ghost.
Mhm.
So it's the ghost itself.
It's the
Yeah.
ghost of your future.
Oh, so you
Ghost
have to deal
is
magic
bad.
damage to it. something.
So it's gonna be single attack, Pudge. If you actually look at your character sheet here, remember how it's a single attack with bow? How it's a little bit different from the other ones.
Mhm.
That is the one you're going to be using, sir.
All right.
And remember, don't just.
Oh. Did I do something
Oh
wrong?
This is a
no!
natty one, so that's actually in your favor. Wow, you have a plus 15. This is the natty ones actually works in your favor. You actually are not clicking that. Instead of clicking where it's a single attack with bow, a little to the right of that, you see where this plus 15 is?
Oh, plus 15. Yeah.
There you go. It actually worked out.
All right.
Get that out of your
That's funny.
system now. I mean,
One
cool
more.
lad.
Went from a
One
to a
high.
2.
All right.
It's a caster. It can't have a very high AC.
That's pretty rough. So you unfortunately do not hit with your attack roll.
I tried, Wade. You can't say I didn't try because I tried.
I just imagine your Pudge is running full speed. He's like, there's some Mortifer's not pissed. He's not
Yeah.
even looking. Maybe the caster heard it and turned around.
Oh, actually, you're denying its dexterity to AC because it doesn't know that you're attacking from over there. That's actually kind of a surprise attack. It doesn't know where you're coming from because you're attacking from hidden.
Mhm.
I'll say your attack actually does hit. Now, is your weapon magical? I believe it is.
Oh, ho, ho. It is.
Mine
That
is
means-
not, which is another reason I didn't swing at this thing.
So you get to roll your damage.
Piss off the caster. Use Casper will haunt you.
1331? What?
Well, 31 would be a crit, I think. 14 is
right.
his damage, and then 10 kinetic. For some reason, I don't know what the kinetic is.
I'm just seeing. It's been a long time since I dealt with incorporeal and the other one. Non-magical attacks. Let's see. Cannot cause damage. Incorporeal creature. Incorporeal creature can either enter or pass through objects. Adjacent have total concealment. How does it work for attacks against it? Incorporeal creature, no physical body, can't be harmed. A creature magic can strike as magic weapons, spells. It's immune to non-magical form. Even when it's hit by spells, magic, it only takes half damage from the corporeal source. So it's half damage from the corporeal source because you do not have what's it called, ghost touch on there. Oh, I see your damage. I was looking.
Didn't somebody have Ghost Touch on something? That
Maybe.
sounds familiar.
But okay, so you do 7 points of damage to it. So it works out. Okay,
Does he
awesome.
do the kinetic burst damage? What's kinetic burst damage?
That only matters if he. Oh, sorry, kinetic burst. Let me look at your character sheet again. Burst is on a critical hit, so it's whether or not your other damage thing applies. Because I got to look at your bow. Many shot, so regular damage, many shot, kinetic burst on crit only. Yeah, your kinetic burst is on crit only. Oh, but you're supposed to have an additional 1d4 that's just not added for your single attack with bow. So you're actually supposed to roll an additional 1d4. It didn't roll that, really? Don't mind me. Oh, it doesn't roll your 1d4 unless it was added in down below. It is. It is added. It was added into your 14 damage. Okay, cool. Cool. My apologies. But that damage, because of the fact that it is...
He has a plus 15, though, and he rolled a 2. How was the 1d4 added in?
If you actually go to where it says attack roll 17 for him, beneath that it says damage 14 star 31. Hover over the 14. You actually see it says atomic symbol rolling 1d6 plus 0 ability plus 5 mod plus 1 temp.
Oh, the
plus
1d4
zero
is
query,
damage. I
plus
thought the 1d4 was part of the
bonus.
attack. Okay, I got you. Never
There
mind.
you go. Perfect. And so that is incorporated. My apologies. That changes the damage it takes from 5 to plus 4 is 9. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
I contributed
So-
a lot to that.
You ran away and you turned back and took a shot. Good job. You hit it. It's now that creature's turn. One of the things that you can notice, Wade, is I do apologize for this. One of the things that you notice, Wade, is the creature that you had been attacking, the golem-like creature that you've been hitting. Because you're focused on it, as an arrow comes flying in and hits the spectral creature, the golem seems to react to it. Not much, but it seems to react to it like it had been a little injured itself from the attack against the spectral creature.
Oh,
However, right as the golem is starting to go to attack you, you can also see the golem itself. I'm saying the word golem, but
I got you.
something else.
Obsidian.
The golem itself, the obsidian creature, seems to have its obsidian almost liquefies in some areas and rejoins with other areas and solidifies, almost like it's healing itself as it's going. Not much. Certainly probably can't keep up with the strength of Mortifer, but nonetheless.
No one can.
Now, I'm attacking you. I imagine you're going to say, Scott, I'm using my sudden defense, which I believe increases your AC by 4 and makes me roll 2d20 and take the lower, effectively disadvantage. Just
I'll bet
remind
you
me
it
that's
does do something like that. Add my tier to my AC, so my AC becomes a 19, and you have disadvantage.
Okay.
Why do I see Pudge in there?
So you don't want to know my chance to hit because it's really good. But
I'm not surprised.
but I actually rolled a natty 1, and so it doesn't matter what my chance to hit is.
You
I actually
instantly die, you hit the caster, it dies, and I get to go home to my lovely wife and family that I haven't announced that Mortifer has on stream.
Trini and you worked out?
No, she died.
Oh.
And so yeah, it missed the first attack. It does, however, have a second attack. Does that apply to the second attack or just the one?
May use to hinder a melee attack.
Thank you. Oh, I hit you. Just to be clear, it's with a plus. I hit a 32 AC. So.
It doesn't matter what you roll. I imagine this thing hits 6 easily.
Every time we play, being the last 2 times, every time I just feel so bad for Wade.
God makes it his job to make me like literally just a human pincushion.
So 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 points of damage brings you down to
-1.
Okay.
Well, Wade, are you dead?
No, I'm still standing and fighting till I get to -32 because my abilities allow me to do so.
And then he dies.
-32.
And then I die. However, now that I'm below 0, I think I lose a hit point every time I attack or something.
I believe so. Are you staggered technically?
I
I
don't know.
think
It
you
doesn't say
are.
anything about
Ferocity. I'm looking right now. You are still staggered at 0 health points and below. Yep.
that. I don't know what that means.
Were
What's
you
that?
talking that whole time?
Oh yeah, I was making jokes. I was just
Oh
like,
no!
and I'm like,
Everyone was ignoring
man,
you.
I feel awkward right now. What's going on? I was like, can Wade make an conscious decision to fall unconscious if he wanted to?
No.
No.
Ferocity kicks over. His anger.
Oh really? Okay, so it's not
Yeah.
optional.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's so funny that you were muted.
when Scott hit Wade, it just sounded like he just came in his pants. So I was making jokes, but.
And it's just like, oh. Nobody
And I also said you'll get numb to Wade being beaten down over and over again and over time. Don't worry about it.
Wade has earned it in his life. Wade, so you can't move and standard, which means you can't full round action anymore, which you don't have multiple attacks anyway, so you can only move or standard, which means make 1 attack. But you still have your free actions, your swift action, or your immediate action. Okay?
Great.
So more or less business as usual, but take a point of damage every time you do that business.
All right. Is it my turn or something? Or is that what you're telling me?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Great. That's awesome. I'm happy. Are you happy?
I got sunshine in a bag. It's useless. Not
A swift action is different than an immediate action, right?
Correct.
swift and immediate take up the same pool.
So I can't do both.
Correct.
Okay.
5e is the one where they separated them. I think you're down to what? 4 mystic points left? Mythic points, whatever.
I still have, 4 now.
Yeah.
Well, I think you said Mortifer realized that hurting the caster hurt this creature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not like the caster took damage, but not like not anywhere near as much as if you hurt the creature directly.
Right, but I'm assuming that if the caster dies, this creature might also die.
You're assuming you can kill the caster or even harm it. You know that that arrow that hit the caster came from somebody who could do other things that you couldn't do.
Well, I'm not thinking I can hit this thing.
Like rub his belly and tap his head at the same time.
I would just yell to Pudge, because I'm assuming I can see Pudge fighting him, or saw him shoot the
Pudge
arrow.
ran down the hallway. He like ran away and was
you
like,
kept going after you shot
Yeah,
him,
but
right?
I mean, you can still shout. He hasn't gone too far.
yeah. Actually, he'd be like literally in the doorway.
And
It's
like
in the doorway, took that shot, and then he's like turning to run some more.
it's a cave as well, so noise is gonna travel.
Mhm.
Hurting the caster, hurt this creature. Finish the caster, Pudge. Today will be glorious. And then I will swing again at this thing, and I will go down fighting, as Mortifer always wanted to do.
He finally found a match. Is this the first fight Pudge has come? I mean, not Pudge. Mortifer's come close to like actual death on.
This is the first time I've gone below 0.
That's gonna be interesting for Mortifer.
And wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Mortifer feels the fact that, like, there's something...
If he, like, chills out for an hour and burns a point, he gets all of his health points back.
8 hours, but... Yeah, but this is the first time I think Mortifer feels that there's something extra keeping him... like, he knows he shouldn't even be standing right now. But the fact that he is still standing just empowers him that much more mentally to think, like, Mortifer can't die, no matter how hard these creatures try. And he will keep fighting.
Wow.
25's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good, sir. And you didn't have to use your points. You can save that. All right. Wow. I won't lie. You are hurting this thing.
Great.
You can see, like, when this thing
Kill
came
my
in.
corpse that in 2 rounds.
When you came in and you started, like, attacking this thing, like, dang, you have clearly hurt this thing. If you had to guess, probably somewhere around half of its, durability has been worn down just in these huge smashes.
Awesome.
And you can see things trying to heal, much like you can imagine momentary, almost Terminator T to the T1000 or whatever it is, or T2000, T3000.
I'm only at half my hit points as well.
Yeah, of course. And Mortifer, anything else with your turn?
No, I feel like I've slowly turned Mortifer into Thor.
Mortifer, take a point of damage for doing that.
No, I'm going to pass that to the DM.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to message Brittany and have her kick you in the balls for me later.
Luckily, you don't have her phone number.
I do, however. So hang on.
Mike.
Hey! Damn it!
Hey, how many hit points is it worth me not to get that phone number, Scott? Oh, there's a deer in my backyard right now. Thanks for telling me, phone.
So the creature all of a sudden, because Pudge just attacked it with an arrow, the creature is now actually going to turn its ire to Pudge, who made himself visible and is still kind of in range. How far are you? 10, 20? Yep, you're still 25 feet away. It actually turns itself over towards you, Pudge, and you can actually see it's grabbing up from the obsidian that's kind of like in the steps themselves.
It's
Yeah,
done.
see what that says.
I'm just letting you know the text is done. Wade requests you kick Scott in the balls. Done.
She probably won't even come in here.
Oh, she just burst through the door and
Boom! Wish granted, Wade. Whack!
I
She's
can't
small.
believe he would say something like that about her and his daughter.
She herself is a halfling, and she has to, like waddle her way around the door. Waddle's a bad word.
Clip that. Can anybody chat clip that? Thank you.
she heard that. I said, stride eloquently like a gazelle.
Looks like I win the fight because Scott's gonna die.
These are Scott's. This is the whimpers you hear. This is the Scott's. I'm submitting like noise, like a injured dog.
I know what you're talking about. Hey,
He does this whenever Britt gets angry. He's just,
I already left before you said that. I know you wouldn't have said that to her.
I don't know what you're talking about. I asserted my dominance.
2 seconds ago, oh, no, I didn't say it. Well, a wife. Now I'm brave all of a sudden.
I'm
Alpha male over here.
I met you in person. You're not an alpha male at a kindergarten.
Anyway,
Scott, lose a level for that sick burn I just gave you.
So anyways, the creature turns its attention towards you, but then decides, never mind, it's going to turn towards Wade again. And
Oh, fuck you.
Ethan, could you actually make me a reflex save as it starts pulling up literally from the amount of obsidian that's inside the stairs themselves. You actually see it's ruining the structure of the stairs as it's pulling up the obsidian that's within there and starts forming it in the same kind of like whirlwind it was doing before. It starts blasting it over towards you. So reflex saves over on the main page. Just under, you see strength through charisma, you see AC, you see fortitude, over 1.
oh yeah.
Yep.
There she is. Oh, great.
I mean,
Oh, no, I'm at -2 health now, right? Because I attacked.
Roll well, roll well, roll well. Take 14 points of damage for me, sir.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ethan, you're getting close to death
Me.
there, man.
You said me for 14 points?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If you actually just click on your token, on that little red circle where it says your health, which I think is 58, you can click that and press -14, enter, and it'll do
God,
it for you.
everything is so hard.
Oh, because you know, I was like,
Because your hand, I was like,
My
oh,
hand.
I thought you were just really turned on right now.
God, seeing Wade die just makes me horny.
Welcome to the reason that 81 other people are here watching this right now.
all right, so
They're like, porn or
Sorry, you said
Wade
14,
suffering.
right? Yeah, 14.
Pudge, it's actually your turn.
All right, Pudge is gonna shoot at the ghost boy. So I'm gonna do my good old 1, 2, 3, if I can.
Yes, I love the
Many
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Do you think she's actually gonna get me ice cream?
Should I do attack, and then all damage, or should I do
Attack. Do attacks first.
Okay.
Yep. Mike, can you do me a favor? Can you text her and say Scott was wondering if you'd get him ice cream?
Sure thing.
I have a feeling like it's gonna say something else entirely different. I don't have my phone on me; it's charging.
16, 22, and 18.
And then the damage now.
How many of those are hits, Scott? Are all 3 of those hits?
The 16 is definitely not a hit. The 22 is a hit. The 18 just barely is a hit.
Okay.
So 2 damages.
Okay.
So for the second attack roll, it's perfect. Perfect. Awesome. So it's going to be. I just have to do this math correctly.
Why are there 2 plus zeros in your damage?
So it's actually going to be 5 plus 2 is 7, and that one's a funny one. So it's actually correct, which is 9, 4, 5, 7, and 5, 12. Okay.
Jack would have turned back at this point, realizing he's an idiot. And started
it's
heading
too
back.
It's too late.
But by the time it gets back, I'm sure
Can't
it'll be
hear
dead.
Anything.
So your wife's response, by the way, to me saying kick him in the balls is, but they're
no.
already so teeny tiny, and his voice is obviously high enough already.
You might keep
Too much got through. Mike, you might want to reread it.
They're so Mike, just type it in the chat for us.
Why, did you not hear me?
I tried to
Scott
mute you, but it was
muted
too late.
Oh, okay. I'll just read it out. Because Wade requests you kick Scott in the nuts, and her reply was, but they're already so teeny tiny, and his voice is obviously high enough already.
Get wrecked, dude.
And then when I said he requests ice cream, she goes, oh, I've heard, as he clears his alpha throat 10 times.
Oh, her balls must be the size of coconuts, Scott, to make up for the lack of yours.
She's telling you all the time. She's funny. Nobody burns me the way my wife does. That's why I married her. So anyways, Pudge. So you do your damage. Same as before. You hit the creature. It barely harms it. You hit it again. It barely harms it. But Wade, same as before. You actually the creature down below reacts. Not that much, but it's reacting enough that the wounds that it healed before seem to be injured again. So it's almost like instead of healing new wounds right now, it actually seems to just be healing the wounds that Pudge had just done to it, I suppose vicariously, or indirectly through the ghost-like creature. So it's actually at least slowing down whatever healing it would have had. It's actually that creature's turn again. Wait, I do apologize. I'm going to attack you. I imagine you're using one of your abilities.
Yeah, that's for the last few power points or mythic points I got.
Okay, so subtract 1. I think you have 2 left now.
Are both of them hits? Because it's on one that's a hit, I think, isn't it? Oh, no, it's one of the attacks. Yeah, so, yeah.
So this one would have hit you. It would have easily hit you. No problem. Aside from the fact that you also increase your AC by 4. So I rolled disadvantage. I got a low enough result that your increase of AC by 4 makes it so it just barely misses you. Can you describe what that looks like?
Tell me one more. Sorry, I was reading something. What? One more time? How the attack missed?
It rolled a disadvantage, but even its disadvantage roll would normally hit you. But your ability also increased your AC by 4, as well as imposing disadvantage, and so it barely missed you because of the +4 with the disadvantage.
Mortifer right now feels so powerful. He knows normally, even before all this stuff went down with Einar, that he should be dead right now. He is taking a beating. So whenever this attack comes in, he almost leans into it, which is what like makes the creature like miss. Is that normally would have hit him, but he leaned into it in such a weird way that it kind of like clipped his armor and bounced off because the creature wasn't expecting to hit him at that spot. It was aiming somewhere else. But Mortifer thinks that right now he's invincible. He feels like crap, but he also feels like he should be dead and he's not. So that is why it missed.
And the second attack hit an AC of 25, and here's your damage for it.
Great.
12 minus 2 is 10. Take 10 points of damage. I think that puts you at negative 12.
It sure does.
Scary.
It sure is.
Mortifer, it is your turn, sir.
Well, I'm going to lose another hit point because I'm going to attack again.
Try not to roll low, because that would just be a waste of a health point.
Sure would.
Mortifer, you're pulling it through, buddy. You're pulling it through with these awesome
I do
rolls.
not want to lose Mortifer. Take that 23.
God, I wish you could actually roll like with your what's it
Anything
called?
else?
Well,
Yeah.
well, a critical hit. I mean, 68.
We don't crit. Only you roll 20s. We don't do that.
I roll ones too.
You rolled a 20, Wade. Remember?
You can see that this thing is seriously.
On a reflex save. Yeah.
Wait, you can see that this thing is seriously injured. You're pretty sure, especially if Pudge lends any aid, you're pretty sure that one more hit is all you need to finish this thing off.
Well, in that case, I will inevitable strike with my last power point, and I'll use a swift action to make a sudden attack.
It's a swift action to use inevitable strike, I believe.
Is it?
I believe so. So you can do the sudden attack, you bastard, but you can't use your top of initiative. My descriptions sometimes get me in trouble.
It doesn't say it is here, but it probably.
Inevitable strike is a bonus, is a swift action to get the +5 or a +20 for a standard action.
Okay, I don't have any of that typed in for inevitable strike.
I think it says it down below. I thought it did, but that doesn't matter. Go to additional. I want to see sudden attack. Before we click it, let's just make sure we.
As an immediate action, it says. No,
That's
here-
fine. Immediate action. Sudden attack is a swift
Swift
action. It's on your turn. Yep.
I was looking at sudden block because you clicked on something and moved me. As a swift action, you can.
You roll twice. Oh my god, you have advantage on this roll too.
Oh, that's better than.
And
anything.
you get a +4. It's the exact opposite of the block one. So you get to roll this with advantage. More or less, roll your attack roll twice and add
advantage and a +4.
Yep. Roll your attack roll twice and get the better
Okay,
of the
so
two.
I'm down to 2. God damn, you keep moving me. Where am I at? I'm down to 2 mythic points. I'm rolling this with advantage. So do I just click it twice? I don't know how.
Does this bring you down to 1 mythic point now?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. So you just roll the attack roll twice. Just click it. Boop, boop. Well, either one of those work. You can take the +4. That makes it a 33. Unfortunately, it wasn't a chance to crit, which is, again, unfortunate. So.
That's all right. That's a lot of ones.
You were pretty sure that one more attack against this creature would have shattered it and destroyed it. You were like so sure. Your sonic focus is your sonic focus is still there. You could have expended that to do a little bit more damage to it.
Do I still have sonic focus?
Mm-hmm. That's why you didn't take the reduced damage.
Oh, I thought I used that against the big creature.
I think you regained it, unless I'm mistaken. But it doesn't matter. It's been a month and a half since we played last, so you have it. Yay!
Oh, so I forget. What do I use that for?
You expended for sonic focus, and you actually is for. I think you have greater sonic weapon as a feat, and greater sonic weapon, which is right here. Ugh, keeps double clicking.
Chat, do you guys remember if I used that or not?
It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it because again, it's been a month and a half. I have no problem because you've
'Cause
been,
I knew I had that, but I
you've
thought
been utilizing the benefits of it this whole time.
Are you out of mythic points too?
No, I've got one.
There's one left.
You could always surge.
You know, he just
I can't surge on damage rolls. I can only surge on.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's for a D20 roll, not for the D6s.
Gotcha.
When
gotcha.
you use the sonic weapon feat, you roll 4d6 extra damage right now.
Well, yeah, I need this thing to die, so I will expend it for this.
Mm-hmm. All the rolls all ones, and then I laugh at his face.
If a 23 would have finished it, I think 4 more damage would finish it. So it's 4d6.
Mm-hmm. But you don't know if a 23 would finish it, do you?
All right, here we go.
that crooked die right there. It's between the 4
I
and the 1.
thought it was another one.
I thought it was too. 12 more points of damage. Mortifer. Describe it for me.
Mortifer at this point laughs, and blood is just like trickling from his mouth when he does, just filling his mouth. He spits it out, and he takes his hammer back. Like, he can't really toss it in the air and catch it, but he thinks so. He raises it up and thinks about doing something cool, just like smiles, and even though he's feeling the pain of the swing, he swings one last time, and then just you see his eyes light up with a little bit more emphasis as he smashes this thing across the head, basically dissolving the obsidian into shards as its head is completely annihilated and the creature falls over. And as he does, his hammer comes down and he kind of almost falls on it, which surprises him because he feels like he's invincible right now. But now that the creature's dead, I think he realizes, like, he's not far from that either.
And unfortunately, those shards you smashed it into, much like when you destroyed the 2 Minotaurs before, aren't just clambering to the ground, but exploding outwards as the rest of the creature.
Yeah, they're going to the
explodes.
left because that's the way momentum works when you're hit with a blunt object.
And the body's exploding to the right. So, so you have to make me a reflex save, sir.
God damn you.
DC's low at least.
Not that low.
God damn you, Wade! Why do you have to make this hard for me?
So hard for you to kill me. That's what you've always
Ah!
All right, boys, sitting at a pretty minus 23. Oh,
Just
Yep.
Try,
And
I
did
will
you,
try.
did you take that 1 point of damage for having
I think that's what took me to the 13 because I think it was at 12.
Okay, yeah, you are correct. Negative 23. Oh god.
All right. Is it Pudge's turn?
After Mortifer, it's actually that creature's turn. The creature looks at the battlefield. All of its minions having been destroyed. The 2 of you still standing there, and it's just furious.
So
And
it
it's
tosses
just like-
one for a health potion.
And you can see that it just starts raging one more time. As the entire chasm itself starts to shake, all of the obsidian inside the chasm itself just seems to be grumbling, almost like its scream that it's doing is resonating at the perfect frequency to cause all of the obsidian and all of the walls around you to start shattering. As it starts to shatter, you can see parts of the ceiling starts to fall. As a matter of fact, even the tunnel behind you, Pudge, starts to collapse a little bit. Mortifer, you are in the middle of this place, and it is falling apart around you. You need to go, and you need to go now. Pudge, for you, it's pretty simple. You can turn and just run. Bye-bye. Run. Mortifer, for you, what I need, otherwise you're going to be caught in a collapsing cavern, is another reflex save, sir.
remember, you have a surge after you roll.
Yeah, I will probably need that for this.
Oh my god!
Ah!
From
A
a 1
huge
to a
chunk of the
20.
ceiling starts dropping down to where Mortifer is. And Mortifer sees it coming, and he knows. He's like slumped on.
Mortifer will not die to rocks.
And so, screaming that phrase, he sees also the chunk of obsidian that was right there that's shattering down. The chunk of obsidian that he was told beforehand by Pudge, the area that was weakened from all like almost like rods being pulled out of it from before. He just swings up his hammer, thrusts it head forward, and finding himself right in that perfect little hole, shattering through it and having the rocks clamber around and smash all around him. Him perfectly standing in that safe spot. And then, without wasting time, as soon as that rubble hits the ground, he starts running his way, going over towards almost where the ghost thing was. But the ghost is not paying attention to you or anything else. It's just continuing its scream and is able to climb up onto that ledge. And it's Mortifer. Do you choose to stay in the area or continue running out of the cave?
What's my instincts tell me? Do I need to roll for that?
Your instincts are if you stay in here, something's going to fall on your head. You'll probably die. Your instincts also tell you every round that you continue to act like big actions versus just movements, you take a -1 health point, and you'll probably die.
I think if Mortifer thinks this entire cave's about to go down, that this dude's just like giving up. He sees that we've won, and he's just like suiciding it, just taking the whole cave down with him. So I think Mortifer would book it out.
Okay. So Mortifer starts running out to get out of there. Now, you're able to make your way out as well. You made your reflex save. Mortifer, it's not an easy run. You are literally dying. You're bleeding out. You're fading as you run. And the exhaustion that every part of like the fight is like all the adrenaline that kept you going and kept you on your feet because of ferocity is wearing down as well. As you are running along and actually easily able to catch up to Pudge at first, he's only halfling, he moves slow, easily able to catch up to Pudge at first. Eventually your steps get more laborious, and then Pudge, you can actually see his arms kind of like becoming jelly at his side, and his hammer actually falls down by his side, behind him as he takes like 2, 3, and then that 4th step is just too much, and he just sprawls out onto the ground. You're luckily at this point safely outside of the blast area of where the tunnels over there were collapsing, but Mortifer collapses unconscious and stable because of your diehard ability, hard to kill ability, adjacent to you. Pudge looking down at him, that big gorgeous hammer, a dozen or so feet behind him. You think to yourself for just a moment, when's a holiday? It would only take one quick little to have food for the family, and we can go to break. I gotta go apologize to my wife.
Gotta grab a drink.
All right,
and
we'll go grab a drink. We'll be back in
nice
just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Sweetie, love you. But that's why when you do it, you go against the grain because it's so much tighter that way, and they appreciate it so much more. You see what I'm saying? Yeah,
That's what I-
against the grain. Listen, you just grit and bear through it. It's worth it in the
We were
end.
talking about Tyler. What'd you do to him?
Wait,
What?
I don't think we were talking about the same thing.
Anyway, welcome back.
Welcome back. Will Wade die? We're about to find out.
Well, I'm
Whoa,
ass
Jack!
up, hammer down.
I guess Jack is still running.
Running through the cave, typical Mike run.
Uh-huh.
Running through the cave.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden you hear,
I'll help you out.
"What's that noise?
Hmm.
What's that noise? What's going on over here?" And you gotta like slow down, and you feel the rumbling, and you realize there's some collapsing happening back there. Jack's smart enough to figure it out. Do you keep running out of the cave? Or do you
Oh,
go
yeah,
back?
no. Time to go.
So you come out of the cave, you clear out, and the collapsing happens way down the tunnel. But we all know what happens when collapses happen. The air gets displaced.
Whoosh.
And so while Wade's unconscious body and Pudge standing over Wade or standing by Wade gets completely covered in dust and so and all sorts of nastiness. And it's everywhere. It's in all my orifices. You at the very outer part of the tunnel, because so much air is displaced on other tunnels and whatnot, all you see is like a little come out, and it's literally right as you run out. You come running out, and it's like one of those scenes from like The Mummy. You're running out, and then, like, finally you're clear, maybe even dive out. And then you turn, you look back, and it's just like a little of smoke.
There's probably a moment where I like stay quiet and I just like listen, see if like maybe anybody's coming out. No.
But during that listening, perception check.
Ooh. You could hear me fart while I'm unconscious and dying.
Wait, am I doing a perception check?
I think
No,
it's just.
no.
23.
That's pretty good.
You also don't hear any rumbling or feel any rumbling or any more collapsing or anything like that. So you think you might be good.
Okay. I can head back in. Okay. As everything's kind of calmed down, look around. I'm gonna kind of steel myself up and.
You're outside of the cave. You're not gonna. Well, you came out here for a reason.
That lady's just standing. She looks over, like sees the puff of smoke, and you walk out, and she's just like.
Is she anywhere nearby?
She's not
always
watching.
outside the cave, isn't she?
No, she goes about and does other things too. She
Right.
was sitting there watching for something else in the past. So
I'm actually
She's
gonna go
like-
find her then.
you're like, no, it's done. We're good. And she's like, oh, really? And like, I'll put Miners back in there. You did a great job. And then sat there and watched as Miners like come running out scared because others died. She's
You
like,
didn't kill
"Oh,
the ghost, right?
Well, you don't know what we did, but
That's true.
no, we didn't.
Okay. I will find her.
You just know we were still there fighting, and now the cave's collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Mortimer's fine. And so he goes off looking for her. So you go walking through the tower trying to find her. It's not very difficult for you to do so.
Mhm.
The other thing is, people. It's not like they're going to come up to you and aid you just because they're like, oh yeah, we know who you are, because they don't.
No, that's why I'm going
Well-
to find her.
No, I know, but it's not like when you ask a question, they're like, oh hey Jack.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
they have no clue who you are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so you have to like work your way to find out where it is again. But it's almost like Groundhog Day. Like when you go walk up to a person, you kind of have to work that conversation the same as beforehand. Except unlike Groundhog Day, you get like this like deja vu esque, reaction from them. Is like, I'm pretty sure I just had this exact same conversation like 2 days ago, and you eventually find out where she is.
Okay. I mean, I approach her wherever she ends up being. I'm assuming she's maybe
She's
milling
actually,
about.
literally over in an area where she has the mine maps spread open, and they're looking through the maps and looking at areas where they could be delving and digging for more obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the spice must flow.
Sure. I'll approach her without really any hesitation and actually lean over the map rather confidently. And as she's maybe even interrupting a conversation that she may be having with whoever she has, and I'll go along with it for a little while, but
Well,
very.
she like pretty much as you come up and approach it, within 2 seconds, she looks up and she's like, "Yeah."
We've discovered the problem, but I need your men's help.
Take your hands off my map before I remove them.
I'll gingerly kind of just lift my fingers up and dust them and then place
I
them
don't
by
know
my
who the
side.
hell you think you are, but get out.
Does she not remember? I thought she succeeded last time and remembered who I was.
Mhm.
I think I'm Jack, and I'm here to help you deal with your mind problem. We discovered the problem, but 2 of my companions were the mine caved in, and they are stuck.
I don't know who you are. What are you, another team going in there?
Jack, and I reach out.
She looks at your hand, then looks at you and says, I'm pretty sure there was only one trio that went in there recently. A couple of idiots that are probably going to die.
Yeah, that was us. You have a rough memory? Too much to drink last night. It's possible. It's a rather dry, boring town.
She goes from being a little perplexed to being very annoyed. What's your point?
Point is, I went in, we found the problem, we were dealing with it, and now the other 2 of my trio were collapsed in the mine. I'd like to some of your miners, if possible, to help me dig out some of them.
Is the problem solved?
We discovered the problem. Mortifer and Pudge were fighting it when I ran out here, looking for help.
Well, last time I had a conversation with, I guess, you lot, you told me problem solved. People died. Are you saying more people should die?
My assumption was wrong. I assumed that the mine was...
I assume your assumption's wrong again. Why don't you go check it out?
Well, this time we saw a translucent man in a robe summoning obsidian creatures in front of our eyes, so I think we figured it out.
She actually looks a little like take it out. You actually have legitimate information. You know what I mean? She's like, translucent man. What's translucent?
You could sort of see through him.
Like a ghost?
If you believe in such things, perhaps something a little bit more grounded. If he's using magics, then that itself is going to cause the ground we walk on to revolt. Could be something along those lines. And, he starts to postulate random theories, knowing what he knows about the world that we live in. But he never really lands on anything substantial, because I imagine in Dark Sun, spirits and ghosts are either non-existent or incredibly rare.
Oh, they exist. Absolutely.
But are they super rare because aren't they...
There's rare as there are most other worlds.
Okay. I just assumed because Athos was detached.
I would actually not say more rare, because even though Athos was detached from things like the outer planes or whatever, that means that necromancy can still create them, and all the people that actually can use magic are douchebags that use a lot of necromancy.
Okay, gotcha.
You know
So
what I mean?
then maybe I would. Then I don't think my answer would change all that much. It would be possibility if you believe in such things, but also here's a couple other theories that I'm running with and making up kind of just right now.
Get that? So she's like, all right, so you found this translucent man.
Yes, the transcendental gentleman.
It's Trans-Siberian.
Whatever the case, if we could even just use a handful of your men to help find my friends who were the ones taking care of him, that would be greatly appreciated.
Isn't transcendentalism like a...
Yes.
No, she just said something and Jack is just going to keep confusing her further and further.
Which is why I kept going.
Yeah, exactly.
So like Ralph Waldo Emerson was part of like...
He's like, yeah, from Transylvania.
Yeah, the Transylvanian man.
Yeah. I don't know where you're going. No,
I want to mine your minds.
and so she's like, yeah, let's you have your approval. Take some down there. I want to know about this man. Everything that you can find out.
I'll give her what I know now, where I let her know I tried to communicate with him initially, and all I received was just pure hatred and anger. It definitely seems like whoever this person is or was holds a grudge against either what you're doing to the mine, or perhaps a grudge against you and your people more directly.
Do you know what this person looked like?
I didn't get a good look at the face, right?
No, not so much. It was one of those things where the person had features, but not so great of features that they're easy to describe. You'd be describing them. It's like, I don't know,
It could be
like
anybody,
describing
yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do have magics at your fingertips.
I do?
Oh, I suppose you don't. You're useless.
I can make poisons and potions, and I can talk.
1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can do here. Actually, actually, I
just saw something.
I have an idea. Where is it? There it is. It doesn't say have to be as long. He's a specific person.
Mhm.
If I expend a point of my mythic power, could I perform perfect mimic? I'll throw it in the chat.
Hold on,
When you attempt to impersonate a specific person, those familiar with the individual only receive. Basically, it's my disguise skill as a full round action. If I expend one use of mythic power when creating a disguise to impersonate an individual, I can read that creature's mind if they're within range, so I can even better mimic them. But right now, I'm just looking to mimic his. I mean, I wouldn't mind reading his mind if possible, but
It might be within a mile. I mean, that's.
well, if he's undead, I don't know if I'd be able to read his mind because he'd be. Not that necessarily he's mindless, but he's not physically here.
That's fair.
So read that one more time. I just want to make sure I heard that
Yeah.
correctly.
You can use the disguise skill as a full round action. When you attempt to impersonate a specific person, those familiar with the individual receive only half the normal bonus from familiarity to see through your disguise. If you expend one use of mythic power when creating a
Yeah, but
disguise,
if you do that directly in front of them, they're clearly going to know it's not you.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, yeah, they're gonna know it's me and not the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The point is, I'm just trying to give her a visual.
I understand.
Would that work?
Yeah, you can perfectly mimic.
Okay. I will use a mythic point, which will bring me down to 8 for the day. And when she says that, you see Jack just begin to describe this man. It's very clear, like you said, on her face and the way I'm describing it. It's like this is just a dude that could be anywhere in Dark Sun. He kind of purses his lips for a minute, crosses his arms, taps his foot, thinks, then because he doesn't really know he has this power, but he will attempt to disguise himself because he has claim identity as a spell, so maybe that's something he kind of wells within. But then I will use perfect mimic, and very quickly, almost instantaneously, I look like this person.
Okay, so you do exactly that, and all of a sudden, she watches you transform, and it's a confusing experience because it's hard for her to remember or hold on to. Like she's got strong enough will that she can kind of has held on before, but so because she's not just like some schlub. But watching you transform in front of her is like a strange experience. She clearly has not seen magics or abilities like this before him.
And it doesn't even have that same kind of arcane flair. It's just
No.
almost mundane. Like my clothes just kind of shift, my hair shifts.
I also imagine part of it's supposed to fill in gaps in her mind. Like she clearly knows a transition happened, but not even necessarily remembering seeing the transition.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so when she sees it, obviously she's looking and she's like, Jadra?
I will lock that name in my mind. Jack will just kind of raise an eyebrow and just speak. Perhaps is that somebody you know? Somebody still around, rather.
Roll your disguise skill.
Sure. I want to double check another mythic power real quick.
Rolls a 91.
That would be unfortunate. I will use another mythic point, and no, I'll use deceitful. Expend a mythic point. Yeah, I'll expend a mythic point and just treat it as though I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, you motherfucker! What's your modifier?
+6, so 26.
You only have +6
In disguise, yeah.
That's that time to start investing.
Yeah, now it
Is
is.
that a class skill?
Mike, you can
Yes,
surge.
it is. I could surge. Yeah. But I mean, 26, and then I can roll an additional D8 with another mythic point. Sure, just to be safe. 3 more, 29, almost a 30. So close.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those. It's so funny because Mike's when I play with other players, Mike, because I'm playing another Pathfinder game with people that aren't familiar with Pathfinder, used to 5e. They're like, "What I go 17? That's really good." Mike's like, 26. I need more.
You gotta be a little careful in Pathfinder. It's a lot more ruthless. All right.
17's not really good. So my apologies. So you do this, and she's like, Jadra, and your response is because you believe your disguise is really, really good.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Is this Jadra somebody still around?
Can
I detect his mind? He's with.
No.
Okay, just want to make sure.
You're right in front of me. The DC is 10 plus your tier, which is 4, plus your charisma modifier, which is 4. Meaning that she has to make a will saving throw against.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
What? Oh wait, no. Target. Does she get a save if she's non-mythic?
Against my perfect mimic?
Yeah.
When you they get half the usual.
What do you mean?
When you attempt to impersonate a specific person, those familiar with the individual receive only half the normal bonus from familiarity to see through your disguise.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
That's all it says.
This is the will save to the target impersonation receives a will save to negate. Oh, the sick thoughts. Never mind.
Yep.
That's me being dumb. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
So she's like, yeah, you're right in front of me.
So she failed. Crap. Okay, so I have two options here. I can just go along with it, or I can try and break it. But I feel like I'd get more info if I try to play along, and I am an incredible liar. So I will. Jack, realizing the situation, immediately adapts his posture. Instead of being, standing kind of fully and as though he was, I'll hunch a little bit. My voice will begin to be a little bit more wavery than it normally would. And I'd actually reach out my hand, though shaking a little, and kind of reach out to her, not quite touching her, and just be like, what's her name? I forget her name. I would know it, but I forgot.
Oh, God.
Person. We'll call her Jane.
Her name's Joanne Fabrics.
I'd be like, Jane, how long has it been? My memory, it's so muddied. And I'll obviously lie.
I appreciated that one, Wade. That was good.
I missed it. What did he say? I was too busy.
Her name is Joanne Fabrics.
When we played
I understand
Star
why
Wars,
Wade
we
wanted
said
Ethan to join
Nugent's
the stream.
bar, so
All right, I'm gonna keep burning mythic points because they replenish every day, right?
Sure.
Or no? Do they not?
they do after a long rest.
A long rest. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna once again use deceitful, natural 20 on a bluff, additional 16, 35.
Wow. Okay.
That's why I wanna. This is what I'm built.
36.
This is what I'm built to do.
And you reach out to take her hand.
I reach out, but I stop short of actually touching her. I don't touch her.
She's like, she looks down at your hand and looks at you a bit confused. Then she'll actually reach up and go to touch your hand.
I recoil. I don't want her touching me.
Okay. Because it's actually the spell disguise self.
Yeah, I don't want her.
Is-
Don't
in the
touch.
Perfect mimic. Do you actually?
Use disguise skill as a full round action.
Yeah. But this is a physical disguise, not an illusion.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. So that's fine. She can touch me.
Yeah.
That's fine.
She'll take your hand. She's like, so, have you forgiven?
Well-
How did you serve?
I shake my head
why
and
are
keep
you here?
keep pushing the lie
How
of
are
like
you here?
my memory is so far gone. I don't remember the last time we even saw one another. But you,
It's been like 2 months
where was I? How did I even get here?
in the mines. I sent you there.
He when she says that, when she says the mines, I sent you there, I will act as though when she says the mines, it hits like a painful memory for me, and I'll like recoil and kind of hold my head and stumble a little bit, just be like, what happened in the mines, Jane? I'll just keep trying to pull info. Let me know if you want me to make another bluff check. I will.
You're fine for the moment. Because you're the fucking 35. she's all in. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect.
What was I saying? Sorry. So she goes, you were down there when the accident happened. I thought you had died. The accident happens that strange day that we had. I don't know. There was an accident.
So I can sort of piece together that he's pissed because he died in the mines. The question is, how come he has these powers if he's dead? Which I genuinely, out of game, don't know. In game, I'm not entirely sure either. However, I really want to sell this, obviously, and I want to keep selling it. But as long as I'm cool, I will. So what will happen there when she kind of reveals the information of the accident? Jack will merely start to kind of scream. Not in like a blood curdling way, but in a pained way, as I kind of stumble backwards. The plan is to walk back out of her sight while shouting, I can't rest. I can't rest. Help me rest, Jane. Put me to, let me have my slumber. And as I go around the corner of a building, I'll drop the disguise and I'll go back to being Jack.
Okay. She's gonna like perplexed for a minute. Then she's gonna end up following after you.
I'll
But
try to keep
literally, as you
away.
go around the corner. It's
Yeah.
one of those.
Yep.
It's what a standard action. Is it quick? Like how quick is it to drop the disguise?
Well, to do perfect mimic, it took a full round action to do that specific disguise. It doesn't say how long it would take to drop it.
How long does it last or anything like that?
Nope, does not. Because it's not a spell, so it lasts as long as I
Yeah.
want it to be.
So I imagine maybe a 4-round action to end it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's if I'm worried, what I can do is I can bop around the corner, pop invisibility, and just super easy, walk away, drop the disguise somewhere else, and then approach her from a completely different part of the town as Jack.
Sure. Okay. And we'll do exactly that. So you pop around the corner like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't. Let me rest. Let me. Boop. She comes around the corner looking around, perplexed, trying to see where you are.
Yep.
Roll me a stealth check, sir.
Sure, not my strongest, but not
You have like
bad.
a plus something ridiculous from the potion, though, right?
20, yeah.
That's all right, natty one it. But plus 20.
24.
Yay. Skills aren't natty ones, are auto failures on skills, so.
That is correct in all editions. So no matter what your DM tells you. So that is your 24. It's something I could actually beat. So I'm
Yep, go for it.
roll for it. Connect for.
L'Oreal kids, because we're worth it too. Marcus?
That's weird. I literally rolled 17 plus 7. I got exactly a 24.
Well, there you go.
I can snip that and send it to you too.
That, I believe.
But so the 17 plus 7, 24 is exactly what she needed. She actually was like, wait, are you still there? She says, kind of like turning to the direction of where you're now invisible and starting to.
Yeah, I'll be like,
like
she goes, are you still there? And then Jack pops out. I've always been here. And I've been looking for you.
pops out of where? Invisibility?
No, I'm going to pop out of visibility out of her sight. And then I'll pop invisibility and I'll come around the building where she probably heard me.
But she more or less heard like that area, like not the exact spot, but like
Yeah, then I'll drop my invisibility and kind of walk around and be like, no, I've been here. Hey.
I mean, because she's gonna be following the sound that you're making as you're going around the corner. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So
She's like,
can I
"What's
just
the
keep
noise? Is it there? And,
can I just keep pushing away from her? I'm invisible.
yeah, you could literally try another.
Yeah,
stealth
I'll
check
just do
to try
another
to
stealth check and not
break
roll a 1. Plus 20, 27.
I could actually.
Yeah, go for it.
With an natty 20.
And this is the rest of the session.
Just-
Mouse again, Mike and Scott.
Let her go
Are you
away.
still there? Are you? Where are you? No.
Okay, cool.
And way less. So she's like, and then you kind of like make your way around, and as she continues looking about and getting now less of that softer tone that she had and more aggravated, like, all right, you're wasting my time now, trying to make me care, but I don't think I do. And then you come around the corner.
I'll be like, I'm sorry. It was me moving, I guess. You heard? Are you okay? Jane, right?
What? The hell do you want?
I'm looking for you. I just came out of the mines. We think we figured out the problem.
Who are you?
Exactly. Jack!
You're the-
And I just do the same intros. Like,
Natty one on that one.
I just shake her hand. Jack, I was with the big man in a short, rotund, gorgeous hair halfling.
Are you a
I
fat?
forgot that I had gorgeous hair.
Are you a chubby? Are you a fat halfling?
Is that a halfling?
I don't know. In my mind, he was. I apologize, but he's got
Pudge, but I think he's normal.
I don't know.
Mortifer and Pudge the halfling. He had it's hard to forget that mane.
Big man, small man.
Yeah, exactly.
Little cannibal.
I kind of was following behind. I didn't say
Big,
much.
beautiful man specimen. Half giant.
Yeah, your face doesn't ring a bell, but I know them. I keep seeing people I don't know, and it's getting really frustrating. There's a
Maybe
group of 3 of you.
it's probably because in the city we came from, I can't remember fucking the name of the city. They were offering a big open job for a bunch of groups to come in here to try and solve the problem. You're seeing a lot of people. Point is, we went in and
Bluff.
That's true though.
Bluff.
All right.
Eat a
19.
dick. Hold on, I get my roll, but it's not anywhere near as good as the other one. Now I got a 17 total.
All right, perfect.
So she's not completely sold on it, but isn't going to question any further. You know.
While we initially thought going in that, as we thought the first time, that maybe there was a layer of creatures there or something to be dealt with, we actually pushed further in, and we were able to see a humanoid figure in a cloak. Initially, all I could feel off of this creature was anger and hatred, but eventually all he ever did was...
Did you just have this conversation?
Here's a little deja vu, doesn't it? And I kind of like raise an eyebrow. Maybe it's the air and the obsidian we are inhaling. Weird.
Just like
It's a
shakes her
similar
head.
effect to asbestos.
Yeah, exactly. But he shouted his name, Jaina Jabra.
She like looks at you expectantly, like waiting
Little
for
Jabra.
put two and two together.
Was it Jaina, Jade, and
Jadra.
Jadra, and I like clap, and I'm just like, that's it. My friends, they were collapsed in on. They were taking down the creatures, and I don't know if they're alive, and I don't know if he's still in there. You kind of see through him. It was very strange. I need some of your men. We need to go rescue him, and if he's the reason this is all happening, then he needs to be.
You saw Jadra?
Yes.
Jadra is the
half see-through one. You could see it through him.
So,
And I'm going to make sure, by the way, a concentrated effort, this conversation she will not forget.
like, remember me.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, please.
Remember me. When we are apart, remember me.
I wish I could forget this part of the night.
If you could get you and your men, some of your men, and I could lead them back to where we were. I don't know if my friends are still alive, but I need to get in there quickly.
Yeah. So, you think that Jadra is trapped with the other two?
He was there at the very least, and I saw him pulling obsidian from creating these creatures. These obsidian.
Jadra doesn't know any. He's not awoken. He ain't woke.
What, could you see through him when you knew him?
What? No.
But you can now.
The Transillians? No.
No, I think it's transatlantic.
Oh, I don't. No, he definitely was not a transmission when we saw him before.
Well, now he is, so perhaps something happened to him. Perhaps he's a spirit that wanders the world. I don't know, but I do know that my friends who are not transactional are stuck in that mine in one way or another. I need to save them.
I don't have any others. Transitional?
Transportational?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna leave it on.
Yeah.
Don't want to make a mistake. She's like, fine, yeah, no, you have authorization. You can bring people with you. You can definitely do that.
Thank you.
We'll get in there. We'll dig out where it is that, and she kind of like looks back towards the building that she was in beforehand, where you guys are looking over the maps. Looks back towards you and says, "Where was the tunnel that you had seen?"
I will explain, and better yet, and I'll explain it, and then at the end I'll just say, better yet, as soon as you get your men, I can show you.
Yeah. And I'll come. I'll come with.
He nods enthusiastically. I'll meet you at the entrance of the mines, and I'll just head over there.
She does not look. You not look. Roll me. My apologies. Roll me a sense motive check.
Sense motive. Also not great for me. Surprise, surprise. 18.
You can tell that the conversation you guys had clearly is going to stick, so on and so forth. But the tail end of the conversation, she didn't seem to have all the like the oomph that she usually does, the follow through that she usually does. You know what I mean? Like, she almost seemed distracted. Like her heart really wasn't into it. So you go and you gather up the men. So you go and wait by the entrance of the mines.
Mm-hmm.
Men are gathered. Happens relatively quickly. 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. As you get a whole bunch of people together with your mining equipment, whatever, and she's going to meet you there.
Okay.
Pulling back. Down in the cave, Mortifer
Is
Pass
getting
the
mouth
fuck
to
out.
mouth from Pudge.
Pudge. Do you stick your tongue in Mortifer's mouth? What do you do?
Wait, was that a question for me?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna stick my tongue in my own mouth.
We cut back to the cave, and Wade said he's getting mouth to mouth from Pudge. So
Yeah, no, I go deep with the tongue. I'm searching around in there, see if there's any air left.
Not anymore. Your tongue has filled the cavity of my soul.
Oh, hot.
So he's passed out.
Yeah.
Ugh. What do
No,
you?
he's passed out, and so I'm just like, oh, you're not dying today, bud. and I just start like slamming on his chest with my fist. And
Roll
I'm
I
just
do 1 point of damage and it kills me.
I'm just like slamming on his chest, just like trying to get him to get back up.
Roll me a heal check.
Where is that? Oh, here. Oh, it was almost a 3.
I thought that was gonna be a 3.
As you're slamming on his chest with your puny little hand, you realize, and your 8 strength, you realize his chest is already beating because his massive fucking heart with his huge strength and con has a louder pound against his chest than your little tiny hand does. You're like, oh, okay, he's still alive, just not very. If you want to, it's going to take some time because, you know, you're small and the wounds are massive. But you can actually try to work to heal up some of his wounds if you'd like.
I'll do it. I'll do it for my good boy Mortifer.
Motorboat.
My good boy Motorboat.
One of them transcendentalists.
Do I need to roll for something?
You actually just rolled a heal check, so I was taking that to treat deadly wounds. This is going to restore 1 health point per level of the creature. It takes, how long does it take to do this? An hour. So the funny part is while you're doing this, which takes an hour, Mortifer, you're unconscious for an hour. Clearly.
What kind of dreams do you have?
Yeah. Tell us, who do you dream of and how? Never mind.
So
So
I dream
you,
of the translucent man, and how I wish I'd killed him.
did you, if he heals you 7 health points, which is likely what's going to happen, you don't have fast healing anymore, do you?
Well, wait, I'm unconscious for an hour. You said
Correct.
I'm out of mythic points now, and
Do it. So I was going to ask you.
I'm out of mythic points, and I will recover half of my full hit points. Yeah.
So you're literally working on him for about an hour, like working, bandaging up this, that, and the other thing. And all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I think I'm about done with this. Yeah, I'm about ready. And then all of a sudden he just like glows for a moment with some sort of like divine essence because your bandage is so good.
Everything.
And half of his wounds are healed instantly.
Do I get
what
my
I did
power
for
points
you.
back?
You get all of your power points back, I'm pretty sure.
I don't get any mythic points back, but I do get all my power points back.
Mhm.
Thanks, man.
Welcome.
Thank you for touching me for an hour. It was nice.
Wink, wink.
So I get half my health points back. Does that mean I'm at half, or does that mean I'm at half minus the 23?
You restore 2. You are restored to full health points. In addition, by expending 1 and resting for a half hour, you regain a number of health points equal to half your full health points. Up to yeah. So what's your max health?
87.
So 86 divided by 2 is 43 is what you heal. You were at negative 23 plus he healed you, I think 7. So that's negative 15 plus 43.
Negative 16.
Negative 16 plus 43. Negative 16
Okay.
would kill most people.
So I'm at like 27 then?
Sure.
I think 43 minus 16 is 27, right?
Sure. I just want to look at something really quickly while you're doing that. Display, these are all your mythic abilities. Gatecrasher, duel, combat, cleave, gate. Great, sorry.
I just realized that I'm
Okay.
drinking your shirt. Wow.
Oh, whoa! It's almost like we planned this. Ooh, hey, I like it. I like it. When you
Yeah.
do
How's that feel?
that. Oh, hey.
I thought I did have another ability that was something about healing.
You did a long time ago, but we traded out that feat because it made no sense once you went mythic, and it was the
Okay.
rapid healer or whatever it was called.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Mortifer, you heal up to 23 health points. All of a sudden, you see that your bandages did an incredible job there, Ethan.
27, man.
Whatever.
God.
Shut up. And you stand up and immediately can go boom, and give yourself your 5 temp HP that you can do for free. Regain your sonic focus. And what do you say, Mortifer, as you come to? Feeling not too bad. You felt worse before, namely an hour ago.
Ah, Pudge. Good. It's time to kill the ghost man.
Yeah, the ghost man's back there in the cave. I don't know if we want to go back there, bud. You weren't doing too hot. I'm pretty much the only reason that you're talking right now.
Mortifer feels fine. What happened?
I don't know. You took
Why
a
is
few
my
steps.
hammer over there?
you crumbled to the ground and then you were just out. Your heart was barely beaten. And
Mortifer does not crumble. He must have just been tired.
listen,
He's like in his
brother.
brain, he remembers that he doesn't get tired anymore.
Listen, bud, I don't want to hurt your pride or anything, but you almost died back there.
But Mortifer did not. Therefore, he will not.
Not this time. We should go and see if we can meet up with Jack or something. Find a way out of here.
But the ghost man is still alive. Mortifer could fight more.
Listen, buddy, you're still not doing too hot. I don't think it's a good idea that we go back to the ghost man.
If I look back, is the cave like collapsed behind us?
Not immediately. There's actually a good distance here because you guys ran for a bit before you collapsed.
But it is collapsed.
It
Like,
is
we
if you
can
go
get
down
back-
the tunnel a bit, yeah.
Fine. We will find Jack. And then we will kill the ghost man.
All right, yeah, we'll kill the ghost man. We'll kill the ghost man. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Let's see if we can get out of here.
Mortifer killed many today. Yesterday. How long was Mortifer resting?
Resting. You were out for an hour or so. Not too long, but you had a good nap.
Mortifer should eat. No, Mortifer doesn't need to eat. Life is confusing for Mortifer. Let us
Come
find
on.
Jack so we can hurry up and back in here to kill the ghost man.
Let's go. Let's see if we can find a way out of here.
Back outside the cave, you meet with her outside the cave with the her underlings, the miners and whatnot, ready with their equipment. She meets with you again. She's back to her typical dour face and walks up to you and says to you as she's approaching, Jack, you best not be wasting my time on this one.
I wouldn't imagine of wasting the time of a small mining town like this.
People have wasted my time before, claiming that this has been that they were completed, and instead a bunch died that didn't need to. Their blood is on their hands.
Absolutely agree. Idiots, all of them.
Yeah, the big one and the people he travels with.
That big man does lack, well, brain. That's all right, though. We'll go save them.
More room for muscle.
No one has ever walked out saying the name I said, it seems. Your reaction spoke as much.
Jebediah.
So let's go take care of the problem and hopefully save a few lives in the process. Be the hero this town needs. Hey, Jane.
Good luck.
She not
And,
coming?
She literally motions to the miners to follow you.
Okay. I'll lead him in.
Okay.
She didn't like Jonah that much.
And so literally you start leading them in, making it that you guys easily make it through the tight area. And once you get to the area where it forked off into those three different directions, that's where you coincidentally and conveniently meet up with Mortifer and what's his face?
Pudge.
Pudge, making their way back out. Pudge, over the course of that hour, I suppose you didn't do anything else. So you meet up with them, and Mortifer looks tired. He looks, actually, when you're looking at him, Jack, you see something different about him. He looks almost looks like one of them, if you know what I mean.
I do.
He almost feels like he's missing.
I can't imbue him with any of my extra, right?
No.
There's no option for that.
I mean, if you guys want to try to dock and transfer.
No docking.
Like just docking divine
Mortifer
power.
would not even notice if you tried to slip
I
in.
mean, there's probably a very small feeling of pity in Jack right now, but he wouldn't show it.
A
Well,
pity
Mortifer's
dog.
also got blood stain. Like, you could probably tell he was pretty much almost dead because he's got blood all over his mouth and his beard that's dried.
One
He's
last
quite
stocking for the road.
He looks like he
Is
should
that what Pudge walking up as the miners are approaching? He's like, "We've got time for one more."
As his dying wish. Do this for him.
Jesus Christ. Oh God. Yeah, because the pity is mostly and probably a little bit of fear because I don't know if this is permanent. Obviously, I know out of game it's not permanent, but in game you've never seen Mortifer kind of lose it, and if we can lose it, that's horrifying. So there's a pity. We're not going to talk about it right now, and but I'll have the miners start helping. Like, let's clear this place out. This is where it happened.
I would say Jack, bluff versus Mortifer sense motive,
Sure.
because it's instinctive that you would have like your look of, you know.
Oh, be careful.
I'm ready. Bring it
I don't know
on.
how good your bluff is, but I've got a +2.
I mean, you could
I
do
got a good sense motive.
it.
Oh,
Alright.
okay. What are the modifiers? So he has a +16. So there was a chance that you could have succeeded, just very slim. All right.
If
so,
I rolled
so
exceptionally low, yeah.
there was a moment where more or less Mortifer asked you for ice cream, and you just gave him that look that says, "Oh, that's not going to happen."
More or less.
But he did it well enough that he still had his hope.
Good enough. After I have the miners kind of go to that, I'll go back. I'll make my way over to Mortifer and Pudge. And be like, oh, there was a part of me that was worried you were dead. I'm glad you're not.
Mortifer should have been, but Mortifer is unkillable.
So it seems. And Pudge, you're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I healed him up pretty good. You know, did the best that I could, but maybe we should grab a drink or something and heal up a little more because he's still not doing great. And honestly, I could be better myself.
We can leave after the ghost man is dead. Mortifer feels fine.
Ah,
He
so
like
you
spit some blood out as he says it.
so you didn't kill him then.
No, we didn't. And I take like a little like part of my like a little rag or something, and I just hand it up to Mortifer to like wipe off the blood off of his face.
I'll wipe his forehead instead.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, thank you, I'm sweating.
Yeah, does he have a 4-head, or like Wade, does he have a 5-head? Just want to be sure.
Is Mortifer a bald man?
No, Mortifer has a beautiful lock of hair.
Doesn't he
A
have a
singular
weird haircut right now?
curly
Yeah, he's
lock?
got a weird haircut.
He's got a
right
bowl
now.
cut right now, actually.
That's actually,
Yeah.
generally speaking, that's Mortifer.
That's what he looked like when we started, because in the arena they forced him to cut his hair and keep it short. They wouldn't let him grow it out like he normally would. But yeah, they were forced him
Like
to look
Thor
like
in Ragnarok.
Mortifer was born before Thor.
All right, God. When you say that you weren't able to finish him off, Jack will say, "Well, at least I have a name for that being, whether it's alive or dead. Jadra, right? Scott, Jadra, Jadra.
Well, this
Being-
Jadra collapsed the tunnels in fear of Mortifer's wrath.
I don't think Jadra is part of our particular realm any longer. And the way
Mortifer can kill a man no matter where he hides.
the way Jane spoke of him, the woman who's in charge of this whole operation, seems like there was an accident that he got trapped in and presumably being killed. His rage and his anger that I felt probably has to do with that. Whether he's mad at his death or mad at her, it's not up to me. As far as I care, and as far as I know, and all I care is that he gets put down. That's our job.
Ah, Mortifer agrees.
Are you okay with that, Pudge?
Yeah,
I'm be
no,
honest. The only time I've
I'll-
ever really had an interaction with one of your kind, he wanted to eat me. So I'm not entirely sure.
No, listen. Again,
Mortifer took a
again,
nap and was not eaten. He'll
with
like
the
look make sure.
stereotypes. I only do it during the holidays. You
Right,
know, gotta
right.
appease my grandma. You can't break traditions.
How do you?
not eat Mortifer while he slept, right? And he's like looking around his body to make sure there's no bite.
How do you feel about putting down something that has already been killed once?
You know, I'm not so sure how I feel about it, but you know, I'll come along for the ride and I'll do my best. You know, if you guys want to go, I'll come along. If you don't, then you know, I just don't know how to go about doing this kind of thing. You know, going back in to that cave and dealing what we dealt with.
Well, the first thing we need to do is make sure these miners get out safe. So let's stay and watch them. Once they're done, once they've taken care of their job, let's go get a damn drink.
See, that's what I was looking for. I need some ale in my gullet. That's for sure.
I could use it as
Mortifer
well.
prefers blood on his hammer, but will indulge once the ghost man is dead.
During holidays, I prefer blood in my mouth, but you know, just during the holidays.
When is the closest? For my own personal knowledge, Pudge, when is the next halfling holiday?
Oh, I'd have to check my calendar. No, it looks like I don't have it with me, so you know.
He pulls out his BlackBerry.
I just
Jeez, I'm not sure, but yeah, you know, you'll know it when it comes. You'll know it when it comes.
that's my worry. That's my worry.
Mortifer will laugh with them for no reason. Just
And Jack takes like an awkward half step back from Pudge, and
Yeah.
just watches and just
I
waits.
make like a joking little like bite at you.
Jack will legitimately, probably minorly jump as you snap forward. You don't. The last time was very traumatic. I got locked in the basement of a keep with a hungry halfling who just kept like looking me up and down. I'm gonna fucking
Classic move right there.
Mortimer will pat Pudge on the back, be like, "Today will be a halfling holiday, as Pudge will help us slay the ghost man."
You like forget how strong you are, and you like knock the wind out of me a little bit.
Probably not kill him.
Yeah, I know. We'll really get him next time, pal. We'll get him.
Well, shall we go back in?
Wait a
He'll go
sec.
to walk and like
When you just slap him on the back, you can't do it like with Jack. You have to bend down and do that.
You have to like actively slap him on the back, or you could probably reach the back of his head.
Wait. Think of like a 4 or 5-year-old child. Now double your real height. You literally have to bend down like, yeah, it's okay, buddy.
It'll probably be like a full, like my hand will probably cover a decent portion of your body as I like slap you too. It's
Yeah.
not just your back. There's a little bit of butt, a little bit of head. Well, that didn't come out the way I meant for it too. There's a little bit of.
Pudge likes it.
Oh god.
Well, boys, should we maybe go get a drink or two and then, rest up a little and then see what that ghost man's all about?
I think Jack was trying to lead the miners down.
I want to make sure the miners get out alive, because God, I don't need her up my ass.
We should kill the ghost man
Or-
before he is able to summon more rock people.
Are you feeling? How's Mortifer looking health? How are you both looking health wise right now? Are you both okay?
Like shit.
Mortifer looks fine. It's one
27
of those
out of
things.
80.
Looking at Mortifer, he seems mortal, which is a lot more mortal than usual, which is concerning. But putting that aside, Mortifer seems to have his presence of mind completely about him, even if he's covered in wounds. You look at what's his name,
Pudge.
Pudge. Pudge seems to be a bit tired behind the eyes, but overall he's still in decent shape. He's got wounds, but nothing that wouldn't heal in a couple of days.
Mortifer is very clumsy. You can tell when he's walking around, he's never like been super graceful, but you can tell there's something like basically the dex damage I have. I've got a lot of dex damage.
Gotcha.
So
I'm trying to see if everything I
Tell
can help.
that he's walking a little off. He's not as healthy as he would like to imply, and obviously he looks mortal now. So he does look pretty
Mundane.
mundanely mortal.
I'd give you a potion, but like a cure light wounds potion won't do much for you, all in the grand scheme of things. You know what I
Help
mean?
Pudge.
Yeah, I'll give Pudge a cure light wounds potion easy. I'll hand him one.
Let me go, Pudge. 1d8 plus 5.
God, I'd hate to see Pudge get below 50 health points. That would be awful.
How do I do that again? Just
He
slash.
is-
Slash roll space 1d8 plus 5, all one.
He
one
is
string.
below 50 health points.
Oh, is he? That's
I'd
cute.
even
He's played one session, Wade. Be nice.
Three.
I was at negative 23, Scott.
Okay, so you heal 8.
Now he's at 52 health points, Wade.
That is double my 27.
That's good math.
That's Mortifer math.
All right. So, do we want to rest up before we go after this guy, or do we want to just go for it? My point of view is, we don't really know what we're dealing with here. So, I say maybe we should rest up, but I'm down to do whatever.
Mortifer's already rested.
I
Let's
say,
get some more blood.
while we're guarding the miners, if he shows up, we deal with it if we need to. But if we can if they get out safely, we can drink, gather our senses, and tackle it afterward.
Mortifer does not want Ghost Man to bring back the bug swarm.
I agree. Play it by ear.
All right.
I love how he said drink to gather our senses. So, you guys,
Listen, I know how to appeal. All right.
Could all of you roll me a sense motive really quickly, please?
Sure.
Jack, what's your motive? Oh, no.
Apparently, I don't even know. Listen, I can lie, but I can't figure out if you believe me.
Ooh. What a good roll for me.
Oof.
Not a good roll for me.
So it's actually Mortifer. When you guys end your conversation, you look back at the rest of the crew, you can see that probably because they overheard your entire conversation, all the miners are a little perturbed. If this big massive guy that's like, oh yeah, no, I didn't almost die. Yeah, he almost died. No, I didn't almost die. Besides, it's just a ghost. A ghost. Yeah, it was just a ghost. And they're all like having watched this conversation. They look scared. They like every one of them nervous. Clearly, the morale is very low. Mortifer, You know about morale very well because you were a gladiator for a long while. You can see the fear in their eyes.
All right. Is there a skill to make them feel better? If so, Jack
I
has it.
deal in.
I will look at them in the eye and I will like.
Give him a
I'll,
rousing
like,
mortar
nudge
for
Jack
speech.
and I'll like.
Use
point at them.
intimidate to inspire courage.
I mean, he might. He's gonna walk down toward him and be like,
Be
"There's no
brave!"
need to be fearful. Mortifer has survived death, looked it in the eye, slapped it in its face, and crushed its skull. All that's left is a little puny ghost man in these tunnels, and you have the might of Mortifer, the arrow of that thing, and the mighty Jack, slayer of the Templar, among us."
It's a diplomacy check to try to inspire it. I don't see your traits from your character sheet, the ones that you got forever ago.
What? You'll have to
The
rep-
one that allows you to swift action, intimidate, and the other one.
Oh, I don't see those either. I can look for that in a minute.
Yeah.
I don't think I had one for diplomacy. It would have only been intimidate anyway.
No. It was just I had something else in mind, but that's fine. So go ahead, roll your diplomacy check.
That 18 looked a lot better than the 4. So as he's saying this, there's like blood trickling down from his mouth, and his dex is so damaged right now. My total dex is a 5. So he's like stumbling down toward like he thinks he's walking all proud, but he's like falling over, like wielding his hammer kind of like maniacally, like trying to be all diplomatic. But he almost looks like he's drunk and like a man that's been near death. So he looks like he might pass out at any moment, but he's trying to sound cool while he says it.
The two of you can clearly see how bad of shape he looks and how that wasn't very inspiring.
I just kind of like.
He'll go to pat one on the back
Lean.
and miss and like fall onto his hammer.
I just kind of sort of lean over to Jack and I'm just like, look, he's not in good shape. Like he says he is. I mean, you know this guy better than I do, but like, look at him. Come on.
I mean, he's not wrong, and he's very, very difficult to kill, but that was probably the closest I've ever seen him to death as well.
It was pretty spooky. I mean, you know, you're normal size. I'm teeny. To see something that big go down, it was pretty rough.
I have confidence that we'll make it through at the very least.
All right, you know him better than I do, so whatever you say.
Mortifer dies. You know, I don't want to finish that thought. And then he'll walk forward and just put his hand on like the back of Mortifer and just be like, "Hey, big guy, go take a seat. Just if anything shows up, kill it."
Yes, Mortifer will kill it, like he almost killed everything else.
I'll just, after he walks away, I'll just look to the very scared, clearly scared people due to a failed speech and be like, "You're really gonna listen to the words of somebody whose brain is smaller than his pinky?"
You get a little chuckle out of them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you ever hear that?
Perception check.
Yeah, I didn't whisper it, but I didn't shout it.
He's the high perception guy, though.
That's true.
Mortifer does have a very mighty pinky.
That helps. That's great. I look to him, and as I turn back, my eyebrows like already raised, looking at them, and just shrug, like, really?
They'll move on. The morale's not fixed, but I don't think Jack cares about morale.
No, I don't give a shit about their morale.
Get to work, slaves.
Exactly. Get to work. This is Dark Sun. Do your damn job or die.
And so you start leading them down to the mines. Now, as they go to the mines, I want you guys to do me a favor again. Morale's already low, but obviously, is Mortifer's not following along though? He's staying back here at the intersection where it's safer.
They would be moving down. I'd probably stick with the group.
I would want Mortifer with us just in case.
But I want to attack him by himself.
No, that would be terrible to leave him. Either he's leaving the mine or he's coming with us. He's not staying in the mine center.
He's not leaving the mine until Ghostman's dead. And
You
you
start-
said the job was to protect the miners, so he'd be sticking with the miners.
Yeah.
Roll a perception check.
And I will-
Sorry. Sense motive.
Before any of oh yeah, I can roll sense motive. That's fine.
Me too.
Yep.
That one was not as good as my last one. Okay,
Hey.
hey guys, we're opposite.
Today it is.
So it's actually Jack and Pudge both. You're really getting a sense of this. Pudge, you're probably walking at a different pace from these others than because you have to say Jack and Waterford literally look at them as lesser. They literally see them through their own perceptions, their own smell, hearing, sight, everything. Perceive them as lesser creatures than themselves. Because they're not wrong. They are, including you, lesser creatures than themselves, right? You, however, though you think they're lesser than you, are not lesser creatures. Just these are slaves. You're awesome. You know, that kind of whatever. So you're probably walking closer to them so you can hear more of what they're saying. However, the two of you are both getting the feeling off of each of them, of the people coming down here, that they're getting even more and more tense. As a matter of fact, specifically as you're walking past one of the tunnels that had been collapsed prior, right before you come up to the area where they're literally going to start mining and digging up the hole that was just freshly made, where you guys just ran from. As they're walking past this previously collapsed tunnel, you can really feel the tension build up. But you, Ethan, you can actually hear them talking about it. I know, that's where it is. Where it was. I know. He's going down that way. Yeah. And then they go further off and up to where it is that they're supposed to start digging out what just collapsed on you guys.
Okay. Wait, so you said that they said that it went down the other way?
They said that that's where the things were. Yeah, I know that's where it happened. And yeah, but we're not going that way. We're going this way, so that's fine. And then they go along the path they're supposed to, and start mining out where it just collapsed on your head. So this isn't like a 3-day project.
Yeah. I go up to one of the slaves and I'm just like, so you guys ever seen anything quite like this before? You ever seen a translucent man?
None of them know what you're saying because that word is well beyond them.
Oh. You ever seen a see-through man? You know how water works. You can see through it. Maybe the man has similar qualities.
Shaking their heads pretty uniformly. One of them says no.
Mortimer has seen the ghost man.
Yeah, but I know you've seen it. And I just sort of lean over to you and I'm just like, I'm trying to get some information out. Maybe they know something, We don't really know anything about this guy. We don't know how to defeat him, I'm trying to get some answers here.
Mortimer will intimidate them. Pudge wants information, so give it to him. Tell him everything you know.
Thanks, big guy.
Yeah, okay.
He'll pat Pudge on the back and be like, Mortimer helps.
Pudge goes 3 feet into the ground, which now is stuck to his chin. So one of them leans in and he's like, yeah, it was whenever we're done with the tunnels, we don't usually collapse them. It's not a good practice all the time. I mean, unless the tunnel is weak or is compromised, and then you collapse it to make sure that no other compromises happen from it, right? But there was an accident not too long ago, and some people were caught in it. Others survived. It was a weird thing that happened. It was kind of a freak accident, but
what kind of accident we talking about here?
I wasn't there. I didn't see it, but
did you hear about it?
Not really much, other than some of the tunnels collapsed. But like, people started talking about weird things happening at that time, and I don't know. I don't know this information.
What do you mean by weird things?
I don't know. Just all sorts of stuff. Just like weird things happening. But I don't know. Sometimes things live down here. Maybe it was that.
All right.
How many died?
Several dozen.
Was one of them Jadra?
They kind of like look amongst each other.
Can you show me where that happened?
They look amongst each other again, but more sheepishly.
Mortimer, can you?
Will start to lift his hammer at them.
Yeah, I was like, I looked to Mortimer ready to say something, but yeah, he's already on it.
They remember they're slaves.
As soon as he's like lifting his hammer, I'm just like, if you guys don't answer our questions, I'm gonna eat all your toes off.
One of them's like, I'll show you. And yes, one of them was. and then just like grabs their pick, throws it over their shoulder, and starts walking back up the tunnel. for you guys.
Mortifer will look down to make sure all of his toes are still there.
You're missing a toe.
Damn it.
It's the 11th toe that you were born with, but mom removed it for you.
Mortifer remembers. Good
It
mother.
wasn't me.
But that's because your family's, your family name is Lannister, and mom and dad were actually twins.
Well, that was the big reveal I was saving, but thanks for ruining it now.
The whole arc is ruined.
Yeah, sorry. So, no, you start walking away up the tunnel. Who's going with? All three of you?
I definitely want to go. So here's basically the idea is if he leads me to an area that's still caved in, like they never undid it, I'm going to take those slaves and move them. It's time to start digging out the cave in over here.
He leads you to an area that's caved in.
All right, let's go get the slaves. Like, my thought is like your typical ghost problems where they're not at rest, they're pissed off. Maybe he needs to be put to rest. Your typical body that was never buried and that kind of thing. Let's see if we can dig out the area and
We need to burn and salt the bones.
whatever you got to do.
Now, digging through here is going to take a long time. It's just
Sure.
fact. Mining takes a long time. But it doesn't have to.
Work double time, boys. You want those toes? You want to keep them? Swing those pickaxes a little bit quicker now, you hear? I may be small, but I've got strong chompers.
It takes 1 hour.
So anyways, Mike, how many times can you...
As close. As many as I have potions, I think.
How many potions do you have left today?
Right now, I have, let's see, we got rid of that one. So, no. Everything, basically everything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 more.
Okay, and let's just click that ability that you have. Where is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, Sandstone Solution, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do it, for sure.
Where the hell is it in your character?
Discovery, Sandstone Solution, right there. As a full round action, the alchemist can convert any potion or extract into a solution that, when thrown or applied, solidifies sand or dirt, or the opposite. If this solution is thrown at and applied to stone, it instead causes 5-foot cube of stone to become crumbly and soft for a minute. There's no X number of times a day, though.
Reducing the hardness by double the level of the extract.
Yeah.
Stone's typical hardness, I think, is 8. So if you use a 3rd level potion, that makes it so it's weaker than wood.
Well, I have 1 3rd level, 2 2nd level, and 4 1st level left.
Okay, so, but the thing is, you can do that, and you can use all of those, and get an incredible amount of work done over the course of, let's call it, an hour.
Okay.
I
Incredible
will
amount of
rest
work
for
done.
that hour.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
but you can make those potions in advance, right? And then you can rest for that hour, burn a point, a mystic point,
Get them
And
all
then-
back.
and do it again.
Yep. Oh, that's totally fine. I'll burn a mythic point to do that.
And if you want to do it a 3rd time,
If we need to do it
more
a
or
3rd
less-
time, I'll do it a
more or
3rd
less
time.
wasting 3 hours to burn 2 mythic points
Sure.
to do all that stuff or whatever, you're able to make such an incredible breakthrough that you're more or less able to get through to the other side.
So what you see, Pudge, well, like the way I help, is you see me kind of reach in, and I quickly can very quickly make potions, a little bit of ingredients here and there. And then I'll take that potion, I'll like scoop up some of the sand or dirt on the ground, I'll mix it in, I'll shake it really heavily, I'll throw it in my mouth, and then I'll spray it. And as it sprays, the rock itself, like I said, kind of crumbles and starts becoming soft, so the miners can just like crack through it really easily.
Damn, that's a cool party trick. I like that one.
It's a very useful party trick. Ladies love it.
Doctors hate it. Click here to find out why.
Jesus. Oh, I see those all the time. The new driving trick that gets the police in, Massachusetts real riled up. Find out why.
That's a good thing to do.
What?
Make the cops
We're
mad.
resting for how many hours?
3. Well,
if
you guys get 3 hours where you
You
can
don't
chill.
get anything from that, Wade.
I get my health points back.
You don't heal.
I don't get.
You have to spend the mystic
Oh,
points.
I got rid of the other thing.
Mike, how many mystic points do you have at max? 11?
11. I'm down to 4.
I thought it was
Okay.
called Mythic. What's this Mystic point you're speaking of?
I keep thinking of Mystic Gohan.
What?
Oh,
It's literally what keeps coming to my mind. I keep thinking Mystic Gohan from like one of those Dragon Ball Z funny sideshow thingies. So
Oh, the good old
Um,
Dragon Ball Z funny sideshow thingies. I used to watch those.
I
all the
will
time.
slide
it was
you.
like alternate reality DBZ or something like that was called back in YouTube, like the old days of YouTube. You know, you guys do know because it's your
YouTube
job.
poops. You guys ever watch some YouTube poops?
No.
YouTube poops.
Yeah, YouTube poops.
Is that like
I
a?
can't because it was like deleted, but I can watch those on Pornhub.
There you go. I will say to Mortifer, if things go badly and we need to fight, I give you 2 very small vials. Down them if
They're
necessary.
small for you.
they're a very small dose of 2 different drugs. I'm giving you Keef and I'm giving you a dose of opium as well.
Keith,
Keef.
dude, you know him, Keith?
Not Keith, Keef, like Frank.
Keith.
What does Mortifer do with opium and keef?
You ingest them, you swallow them. So basically what it'll do, if I give you that version. Basically what the Keef will do, will give you a plus 1d2 alchemical bonus to strength, and then opium will give you 1d8 temporary hit points, plus 2 alchemical bonus to fortitude saves as well. And then when the drugs wear off, we'll worry about that if needed, if you end up taking them.
I just sort of
Does this
like,
count as inhaled? No, these would be ingested, right?
Inhaled, ingested, or injury. Those 3 work. Except for Keef, you have to ingest it or inhale it. You can't be injured with it. Sorry, what was
I'm
that?
just saying, like,
Ethan?
I shouldn't worry about suffering from an addiction if it's a.
I mean,
inhaled thing.
we'll worry about it if it happens.
If it was inhaled, it won't even affect you.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
can't even choose for things to affect me that way.
No. If you're immune to chickenpox, you can't choose to get the chickenpox.
How is Pudge familiar with drugs at all? I'd be curious.
You know what? That's a good question, Pudge.
Cause I'm not hiding that I'm handing him these things. You see me reach in and pull out a little vials, and they're very different.
About to
You do DMT,
lean
bro?
over, and I was just like, hey, if you got any spare that, I can toss some coin your way. I don't know,
Jack's face lights up. What is it exactly that you use?
He opens
Pudge?
those trench
And he
coats.
smiles. Perhaps we could work out a deal or something.
Pudge is just like, yeah, I'd like to work out a deal. I dabble.
You did us an incredible service for helping us out, Pudge, and you've shown me that your people can be different. Granted, you're the second one I ever met, so my sample size is small, but Is it-
just like the people. Am I right?
just Jack actually like laughs and is like, "You're right," and he reaches in. This one's on the house. Thanks for helping, and I'll give you a dose of opium.
Oh, he just like kind of leans back and puts his hand on his heart, and he's like genuinely just like really surprised and just like really. It's just very heartwarming. He's just like, oh, you really didn't need to do that, pal. Wow, thank you so much.
This is the most romantic.
I feel so
movie I've
welcome
ever
here.
watched.
He has like, if anything, I want my friends and those that come to me when they're in need to feel welcome. And he
Well, I
smiles.
appreciate that. I owe you one, pal.
This
You don't owe
like
me
when
anything.
Bloke meets gangs in New York.
If you if you like what I've got, you can come to me for plenty more.
He just sort of like gives a wink to him.
Do you down the hatch now, or are you waiting for later?
Oh, I'll wait for later.
Do you prefer powdered, liquid to swallow? Or do you have a preference?
Or suppository.
Suppositories.
I'm out of weirdly fresh out of suppositories.
Oh well, whenever you restock, let me know. That is my preferred method, but I'll
He
take.
just prefers the applicator. He just
That's
wants to
fine.
pulse
Got
the
it.
applicator.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you the liquid, then you can swallow it.
All right.
All right. Well, let me know when you down it, and I'll give you the effects.
All right.
But
All right,
I brought my opium doses down to. I've only got 2 left.
So I will say, Mike, we've already discussed 3 hours happening, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But that is assuming you go into this next scenario, whatever it is that's going to happen, with 0 spells on you.
That's true.
If you'd like, hang back, let them finish doing their mining, whatever they're doing to open up that room again.
Give me my mythic point gone and refill.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
If
I'll
you'd
do
like.
that. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll bring it down to 3.
Okay. If you actually look at your little character on the, I don't know where you're keeping track of Mythic. Where are you?
It's at the bottom of. It's in additional gear at the very, very bottom. I have a little thing.
Oh, that's funny. If you actually look at your little token on the map,
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah,
little
yeah,
green
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, I can just do this.
Mortifer used that for his temp HP. He originally did that, but He has to HP way more often.
Cool.
Way more relevant.
All right, let me just refill my spells. I'm good. You can keep going.
Okay. So you do that, and it's one of those. They finally, a little after you take that 4th hour passes, you guys are getting a little. One of you is getting a little tired, and then finally it's Hey, I think I got something here. Yeah, get over here. They start going over. They start like getting their picks out, smacking through it. Again, unless you want to pull out even just a wimpy potion to make things easier for them, they just smacking at it with the picks.
I'll let them smack at it.
It's grabbing with the rocks and the shovels and everything, and trying to dig it out. And you can see that they finally dug their way into the a room. When they finally clear it away, which takes like another 5-6 minutes, when they finally clear away the doorway enough that you guys, anybody but Mortifer can get in. Really easy for you there, Pudge. You guys can try to go and check out what's revealed in the room thus far. Pudge, do you want to scout ahead?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous based on what we've gone through before. So I wanna pre-knock an arrow if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Just go in sort of already ready to attack if I need to.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm gonna enter in. And just sort of like stick my head through and just like kind of look around and then motion to Jack to come in and follow me in.
As a halfling, you don't have dark vision, I don't think.
Oh, is it dark in there?
It is. You're in a cave, but they
Okay.
can easily shine in, light and whatnot. So.
Was I supposed to get any power back or no?
No, unfortunately, you do not until you get a full rest. They're just special.
I can't use elf sight then. Okay.
They can light torches and give you lanterns or whatever, though. That's not an issue.
Oh, the slaves can?
Yeah.
Okay.
They throw a torch in there. You can literally just take a torch and hurl it in there.
Yeah. I motioned to one of the slaves to give me a torch, and I just sort of like little underhand toss to throw it into the middle of the room.
You hit the ghost in the back of the head and he dies. We can leave now.
Oh, sick. Wow, isn't that nice? Fire, that's what it was.
Roll me a perception check.
Is this just him or is this all of us?
Just him. You sit there and be quiet, like Jack told you.
I pity you, you mortal.
Oh. So, looking into the area, obviously the torch is lighting up the air, but one of the things that you notice is, even though they did break through into the room, that is correct. Like there is an open area here that they finally were able to enter without having to directly dig it out. It seems as though much of the room, much of the cavern that they were mining from before, has collapsed anyways, much like the room that you and Wade had run out of earlier this day. That room has collapsed a considerable amount. So looking into it, you don't actually see anything other than huge boulders about here and there, what seems to be a lot more projects for them to work on. Mm-hmm. But you also haven't climbed into the room yet. You had thrown a torch in, we're staying on the outside and peeked in.
Yeah, I say to Jack, I'm like, this is a lot like what happened back when Mortifer and I were exiting the cave, so I keep your wits about you, We don't know what's been in here. I think maybe our translucent friend has come through here as well. This looks oddly familiar.
Jack will nod and keep very much keeping his eyes open as well, and it seems that I think they're over mining.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we don't want to. If something does happen, we don't want everyone to die. Should we maybe take a few of the miners in here to try and get some stuff out, or what do you think?
Explain again what we see inside is pretty open otherwise?
Only he had looked at only from outside of the room. He hasn't gone into it yet. The room, there is an open cavity here, which is what he's able to see into, dug into. But the room, much like the room that you guys were doing that huge comment beforehand,
honeycombed.
Much of it has collapsed.
Much of it's collapsed. Got it.
Okay.
So you're just seeing a bunch of rubble and whatnot around. As to how much is really open, he's probably have to climb in to get a better look.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the torch with me, and you guys stay behind. I'm gonna try and be a little sneaky boy. I'm gonna go in there, take a peek around. I'll call for you if I see anything suspicious. All right.
Before reaching into his pocket and pulling out a vial, if things get horrible, this is your ticket out, and I'll hand you an invisibility potion.
Ooh, okay. Thank you, sir. I just sort of like stuff it into my pockets.
Is it
Dwarven
laced?
pockets.
It's not laced. It's just an extract.
Ah, the good stuff.
Is it an
Oh
apple?
man, imagine just like
Gotta keep my
lacing.
wits about me.
Repository and
Imagine lacing an invisibility potion with opium. You just go invisible and
Yeah.
pass out.
That
Yeah.
would be fun. Like, your character's like, no, I get the extract discovery. I give it to my party members, but I lace them. I gotta make sure they stay my party.
Yeah. So do I need to roll stealth?
Yes, sir. Now, mind you, you're walking around with a torch, so it's not about things seeing you, because it'll be like, hey, there's a moving torch.
Yeah, more about sound.
If you roll,
Yeah,
if you had
you-
an,
incredibly
comes
quiet.
at 29.
Which,
What?
holy shit.
what level does it become godly?
What?
You're rolling like a stealth check. What's the number that is considered
Oh,
like?
it's like it depends. It depends on what it is, but you're talking. It's like 80, 100,
80s.
somewhere around there. Where was that? The book of
Divine something.
epic level handbook.
Epic level.
But that
handbook,
just means
right,
that when you hit level
20.
21,
You can do.
it's like those. Even if you could hit those numbers before, you could do things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. Just short version, Ethan is let's say you were able to acrobatics 100. You wouldn't be able to do much more than you could have beforehand. But if you're level 21, if you're epic level, you could balance on a cloud with that.
Yeah.
Godlike.
So, but anyways,
Mortifer likes the sound of that.
it's like there are DCs to literally become invisible because your check is so high, you just stealth so high, you literally turn invisible as per the spell.
Yeah.
So anyways, you go into the area and you very quietly do so. You don't even make the slightest. You guys literally watch as the only noise that passes as he climbs through this very loose rubble area. Not even a slight not even a pebble slightly shifts. Only thing you hear is the burning torch as he makes his way into the cavern. And aside from the light, he would be gone completely from your perceptions. Roll me a perception check, sir. Sir, what you see is, as you're looking into the darkness, you look about and it's actually coming at you. Oh my God, it's coming at you incredibly fast. It's the last break for this session.
Oh.
All right, and we'll see what is charging at our dear Pudge in a mere minutes. Grab a drink, do what you gotta do. We'll be right back.
Stay out. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
And we're back. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hi.
We're back.
You've noticed with the 23 perception check, as you're looking around into the dark cavernous area of the room there, what you notice as you're looking about is that the cave is slightly collapsed in itself. This clearly was an area where they were mining. There's no questions about that. But it looks as though the way that the whole place is collapsed, it just seems to be something off about it. I don't know. Clearly the rock has fallen. You've never been in a cave-in before, but this just seems wrong. It just seems off. Like why didn't rocks fall in this area? Why did they fall over there? It almost seems like there's there's a set room, like not rooms, or like a set hallway. You go into the area, you look about, and then you start walking along inside there. And you can literally, almost along the whole circumference of the room, the original room, it's not a perfect circle going around, but it's a really clear path that runs along the outer perimeter of the room that had collapsed before. And it eventually brings you back to the tunnel that you came in.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nothing that you encountered while you were in there. You didn't see anything else, but the fact that that's off. Could you do me another favor? Actually, I don't think you can do it because you don't have a rank in it, so you can't get above a DC 10. Yeah, so you can't even roll it. Never mind. Not worth it.
I sort of stick my head in through the hole that I came into, or in through. I was like, I don't think this was a cave-in. I think this might have been done on purpose. It all just seems too planned out. I don't know if you guys want to come in here, but I didn't really find anything. Maybe this room was used for, I don't know, some ghostly ceremonies or something, but just a whole bunch of rocks in a circle, all leading back to here. There's definitely a path here. This room has some sort of purpose, but I just don't know what for yet.
This room's purpose will be to kill the ghost man.
I'll try and get through and start looking around with them.
It's easy for you to get through,
Yeah.
and honestly, if you have two choices here, Mike, for Jack, you can slip through with relative ease, and the miners are going to keep trying to dig open this whole doorway here. So eventually, Mortifer will be able to get through, and it's good because stay, bad boy, you're hurt, or you can go with a decent potion and to make it easy so they can just pull this apart in moments, and Mortifer can join you too.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and do that. What level is Dark Whispers? What level of the spell is that? Do you know?
That's a really good question.
I have a potion of Dark Whispers I've had since like session 1 that I've never used.
If Mortifer hit the what remains of like the wall that they're trying to mine out with his hammer, would that do anything?
I mean, yeah, I blasted open easier, but it's just more or less breaking DC. What he's doing right there, what Mike's doing right there is making it so it's easy for anybody to break it down. We imagine a pick is better at breaking things than Mortifer's hammer.
Yeah.
Dark Whispers is you can communicate through shadows.
Yeah.
One or more targets within range. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We got it off a dead guard at some point.
Dark whispers.
Is that will level 2 be high enough of a spell?
Yeah, that reduces the hardness of 8 from 8 to 4, which is slightly weaker than wood. Wood
Okay.
is 5.
Sounds good. That's what I'll do.
Okay. So they're able to easily start cutting through. Do you like call Mortifer in, or
Yeah, I'll let him know. Like, hey, we're making it a big enough entrance for you to get in.
Mortifer can come by now, and even though they're easily clearly making an easier job of this thing, Mortifer can come over and kind of blast it open. He actually is like a gate crasher there, Ethan. It makes him really good at breaking through stuff. So they weaken it a little bit more, around the edges, and Mortifer's and smashes through the area.
Strong boy.
So
Smashing.
Thanks, Tim Curry. So as you guys go into the area, one of the things that you notice, Wade, is the path that he described is in fact there, and it's almost wide. It's wide enough that Mortifer, if he turns sideways at points, he can walk along it that way. But you can keep up with them with relative ease. The ceiling is a bit low in this area because it's not like it's perfectly up. It actually almost looks like it claps down to a point and then almost stopped for some reason, kind of structured in such a way that it stopped. The whole thing comes off as strange. But Mortifer, roll me a perception check, you specifically. That's a sexy roll. So you, because of how tall you are, one of the things that you notice is, as I described to you beforehand, Ethan, you walk in and clearly it's like a tunnel that goes around, right?
Yeah.
But that inner area, the inner, we'll call it rock, boulder, collection of rubble, whatever,
The inner sanctum.
that's there. Actually, from as tall as you are, Wade, you can actually see up even with your dark vision that it almost seems to curve to a degree, like almost like it was designed inwards. But again, there's a collapse down and whatnot that it eventually kind of like, it's not like it curves and makes a perfect dome or something, right? Because the ceiling does come down low enough to stop that from being a perfect dome.
So
But
it looks
definitely
like there
curves.
was a room to we're in that area.
Looks like, if you had the easiest way to describe it is, it looks like somebody put an upside down bowl or dome on top of the center of the room, and then everything else collapsed on top of that, aside from this tunneled area around.
So I would think that there's something possibly in that bowl that's protected right now.
Potentially.
Jack, can we get into the he'll point at this wall and be like, there's something in here, probably Mortimer thinks, based on, he'll explain it the best he can. He'll like stutter through, like try to explain architecture, even though it's beyond his actual knowledge.
Doing his best. He's a good boy and he's doing his best.
He deserves a treat at the end.
Can you bash it open, or do you need me to weaken it?
Do I think I could bash it open? How thick does this look?
Scooby stacks are opioids. It's made out of stone, and it's a lot of stone, so the DC is like way up there. Give me 1 second to double
And
check that.
Mortimer can't see into it, right?
No. It's all solid rock.
I do not currently have rock vision.
Oh, I thought it was like a weird half bowl thing. Never mind.
It is, but like the bottom half of the bowl's the ground, I think.
Yeah.
He's got it. So let's see. Iron bars, don't really care about that. Here we go. Breaking down hewn stone is 50. This isn't hewn though. Masonry wall, it's 1 foot thick, is 35. So the DC is going to be in their 30s to 40s.
Normally I could break through it, but right now I don't know that I could. 'Cause I have
I'll spray it down. I'll weaken it for you.
What level spell do you want to use to weaken it?
I am also let's see.
how many bonuses do I get to breaking something?
I'll just use one of mine. I'll use another second level spell potion that I've got.
So second level we weakens it by. Do you have thirds or no?
I have 1/3. I don't want to burn it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have a bunch of spare potions that I've picked up over the course of the game that I've never used, so I'm using those.
Oh, okay. What you use this time?
I have a potion. I have 2 potions of Vomit Swarm that are just potions.
Nice.
So
Nice. So you grab that and spray the wall and make it a lot weaker for Wade to bust through. Wade, would you like to try to bust through this wall that as he sprays it, or do you want to like hack away at it for a while
bonus
first?
for being large size, and I've got a +2 from Gatecrasher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is that a +4 total?
Is it 2 for being large?
I don't have that written down anywhere. That's always
It's
something.
4 for being large, breaking an object.
Okay, so this will be a +6 to a strength check.
Correct. Again, the DC is pretty high.
Mike, is this one of those things where I should take that strength potion you gave me before I do it? I mean, you know what? This is just a rock wall.
Yeah,
If I mess up, I can just keep going.
I don't want you down in drugs unless you need to.
Mike, your potion against the wall lasts for what, 1 minute?
Yes, 1 minute.
So that's a 16.
You run into a... Ow! Your 16 is not enough to break it because a 16 wouldn't even break down a good door.
Seeing him do that and like, there's just the pity feeling just gets bigger.
Yeah, you know what? It isn't it because he's strong enough, but you see as he's trying to like charge, he expects his legs to move a certain way, but he's still just like so off balance for some reason that by the time he gets there, he like kind of misses his mark. And he backs up and he charges again. That one's a 20.
You'd break down a good door, but you couldn't even break down a strong door with that one. Ow. It's one of those things where the wall in front of you is weaker, just not that weak.
Do I have to roll like
It's
a
almost like
19?
the mud is like maybe the mud, the softened wall, maybe it's just absorbing the impact of your shoulder or something. That in the sun's in your eyes.
Do I think swinging my maul would do more than me running at this thing at this point?
If you are able to injure it a considerable amount, you might be able. A damaged, it's a condition damaged, would be easy to break through.
Okay, I'll swing at it once. I don't know if I need to roll to attack or if I just roll damage.
Rolling to attack is good because you can crit, right? You can crit objects.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Pretty sure you can.
Well, right now I've got no reason not to power attack, so I guess I'm just gonna power attack.
If you take a 4-round action to line up a shot, you automatically hit with a +5 on attack, or with melee weapons and a +5 attack rolls. Tough enough to shrug off some of the damage. Armor class is equal to hardness is blah blah blah. Okay, my apologies. Let me look through it. See what you did.
19.
19 damage. So you did a whopping 19 to it. You know, it's you splat. Some of it comes off or whatever. It's not an incredible amount. You can keep going. Go ahead. Okay, 21 damage. Okay, it's not an incredible amount. You still have, well, was it 1, 2, 3, 4? You still have 6 more rounds that you can do with that. We'll say 5 more rounds. Because,
Thank God a 10 probably
well,
hits.
again, you automatically hit. You actually don't even roll your attack roll. You automatically hit if you take a 4-round action to attack, which is what you're doing.
Well, you told me to roll just in case I crit, right?
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, just do it this way. So it's going to be the total of, hold on, 7 attacks is what you're going to do. That way, the last one you can try to burst through, assuming it's weaker. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have to roll, because I actually don't think you can critically hit these things. Just roll damage.
Okay.
26. Okay. This is 5. 2 more.
You can do it, Wade. I believe in you.
30 was really good.
1 more. Thank you. And then I got a minus. Its hardness is usually 8, but that was what, 7 attacks against 4. 7 times 4 is 27. That's how much damage you did to the wall.
You should see the other guy.
Jack, you're the one that's most likely to succeed. Roll me an architecture engineering roll. Knowledge engineering. You're not trained in it though, so you can't get above a 10. Hey, 10. So you got. You can see that the wall is clearly damaged. Duh. But you would not even guess, not even halfway so. He's going to have to damage it some more if he wants to have that added effect to last that we were discussing beforehand.
So you want me to burn another potion?
No. He can still, more or less, he can choose to try to burst through it now, or he can choose to attack more now. There's 1 more before your original potion wears off.
I'd say let him attack it one more time.
Good, Wade.
That's up to Wade. It's your choice.
Mortifer's happy to swing away and break stuff.
Cool. Minus 4 gets us to here. Wade, one of the things that you do notice, do me a favor, roll me a D100 twice. You're smashing your hammer against the stone wall over and over and over again. It's not the same as smashing into a person. People are fragile. They break under the weight and the might of a massive and sonically reinforced crystal hammer. However, smashing it into a stone wall over and over and over again, you can see some fractures running along its sides. It reminds you of a friend that used to travel with you and how things like this you didn't have to worry about in the past. Nonetheless, that friend is no longer with us for several reasons, mostly parenthood. But moving on. You see some fissures happening along the hammer. It is taking a bit of a beating.
Oh, my hammer's damaged?
So now the potion's worn off.
The wall is pretty damaged, though. Maybe if you did another potion, it'd be easier for him.
Sure, I'll burn 1 more.
How damaged is my hammer?
Somewhat. It takes multiple somewhats to make it something to be concerned about.
All right, I burn another.
Okay. Wade, you want to hit the wall with your hammer, or you want to charge through it first?
I'll hit it like 3 more times, then I'll try a charge.
Sure. That's fine.
22.
Mike, that was a second level potion, right?
Yep.
22, 26. And 26 again.
Whew, that's really good. So the wall is definitely damaged. Like it's pretty heavily damaged. Honestly, at this point, if you wanted to keep pushing this way, you could just smash through it like this. Like there's no doubt in your mind you could just finish just smashing through it this way if you wanted to. You take a moment
23.
instead to rush back, step back, and instead try to run forward and try to rush and break through the wall. Unfortunately, still not good enough to break through this wall.
The 23?
23 is not that good, unfortunately. Its original DC was a high 30s to early 40s, without giving away the cake.
So basically, I need to roll a 25 here. I need to roll a 19. I'm guessing.
Maybe.
All right, I'll keep smashing through.
Well, if you get desperate, we'll see what happens.
Another 26.
Okay.
Another 22. Another 22.
Okay, you want to stop there for a minute?
Yep.
Okay, minus is that 12? Okay, so that was 3, 6, 7 rounds out of the 10. The wall is incredibly damaged. It's near crumbling, but hasn't crumbled quite just yet. You can keep smashing with your hammer, or you can try to break through the wall with your shoulder.
I'm gonna hit it. I've got 3 more turns. I'm gonna hit it 2 more times, then charge. If it's still left.
Okay.
My goal is to get to 300. 28.
Wow, that's a really big one. And finally, when the spell's like starting to wear off and you can feel the stones starting to solidify and everything, just smashing. And finally your hammer breaks through. As soon as it breaks through, you feel something strange, something different. But Mortifer's not one to waste time. He feels uncomfortable all the time. Talking to Jack makes him feel uncomfortable. One might even say lesser. But no, Mortifer's greater than everything. And so he, kind of takes a step back, ignoring the feeling at first, and just continues bursting the way through, making a doorway large enough not just for his 2 little friends, but for Mortifer as well at his massive size. What you feel as you guys burst through this is familiarity. Not you, Ethan. Sorry, you don't get this sense. But the 2 of you, the sight before you, what you see, you can feel something that feels like you do. Different. Better. It's not lesser than you.
Uh-oh.
Though what you see is in the area that you guys were in beforehand, you can imagine the amount of carnage that exists, despite the fact that that whole hallway out there seemed to be carved out and there wasn't a dead body in it. You can imagine the amount of carnage that must have existed as the various collapses happened. Here you see a bit of that carnage yourself. The inside of this thing, as you broke through, smashed through it, reminds you of being inside of a geode. When you smash through a geode and you just see a whole bunch of the crystal on the inside, it's crystal everywhere around you. But that crystal is obsidian. It's just this obsidian all around you, sharp, jagged areas all through. But most importantly, what you see in the center of this geode of obsidian is there's the body of a man that's kind of like slumped down with a bit of obsidian thrust up from the ground through his gut, another bit down through from the top through to the back of his head, another bit through his shoulder, another one through his leg, clearly having been skewered by this obsidian that had formed here and is holding the body. It's been 2 months and it doesn't smell of rot. It doesn't smell of anything gross like that. But what probably catches you most off guard, probably what catches you the most regarding thing, and even you would notice this there, Ethan, is that the form looks familiar.
Can we all see this?
Everyone can see it. Mortifer first, of course, okay. And then I imagine he steps out of the way or whatever, and his big old booty, or sorry, calf for you there, Ethan. He gets out of the way, and you guys can see. The inside of the room, like the actual chamber, the inside, if there was no dangerous, jagged obsidian everywhere, you can imagine if the whole thing was shaved clean, is about 20 feet in diameter. So 10-foot radius, 20 feet in diameter.
Sighing and taking a deep breath thereafter. I think we have our culprit, gentlemen.
Is it the man or is it the rocks?
I have a feeling the answer is somewhere in between. I think our first order of business, if we can even get close, is to lift that body and remove it from the obsidian.
Is this the ghost guy? Or you guys?
Jack kind of silently nods.
He looks less ghosty here.
Mortifer, do you feel that?
Mortifer knows that feeling.
Pudge isn't really getting much of a feeling here. I don't really know what you guys are talking about.
Jack, Mortifer must tell you. Mortifer doesn't quite feel that feeling himself right now.
Jack will nod. I know.
What's this feeling you guys are talking about? Is there like a weird like love triangle thing happening to you? You guys know this guy? Is he from your past? Like, I mean,
No.
I just don't really get it.
Mortifer does love power, and that is what Mortifer feels.
Jack will shake his head in the question. We don't know him. It's something we should sit down and have a meal and a drink over. Maybe explain it when we have more time.
Jack,
right
we
now.
do not need meals.
Exact. But Mortifer. We could do this cleanly, or we could do this rushed. We can remove the body from the spikes. Maybe that'll undo it. Or you can take your maul and take a very big swing at the head.
You know which way Mortifer votes, but he will allow you to decide.
As Mortifer is speaking, right after Jack says that, right as Mortifer is speaking, you can slow at first. Then you can feel vibrations, almost like a twinging noise.
Are we talking about
Happening.
good vibrations? Ooh, whoa, good vibration. Okay. Tough ground.
In the obsidian in front of you, you can feel these vibrations happening, and you can actually see the body twitch and start to move. Not a lot. It can't move much. It's pinned in so many different ways. The body twitches and starts to move, and the vibrations start to happen. And then you can almost see, as this is happening, the body is separating from itself. No. Now you can see that translucent form is being pulled from the body through the obsidian. And then it's like you can literally see him just like being torn apart, even though his physical form is still there. His incorporeal form is torn and ripped from the body in all different shards through the obsidian, but then kind of like reforms next to the body, upright and facing towards you, floating over the crystals that are on the grounds there. And you can feel its essence, you can feel its rage.
Before Mortifer says something that could get us killed, Jack still like will.
Hold on, before anybody
Shit.
says anything.
No.
Roll initiative.
Yeah. Shit. All right.
Ah, yes. My +1 will guarantee I go first. Fuck.
Damn it.
We both rolled 5. No, I rolled a 4. You rolled.
find initiative.
What are your hit points and damage reduction?
Did I heal at all, Scott, during those hours and hours?
Make
Or
sure
am
you
I
click
still
on
at
your
49?
token before you roll.
You would have healed half your max health and half your max health and
Okay.
half your max health.
All right. Well, Ethan,
Pudge?
roll. He rolled. He
Oh,
got
Pudge, you have to click your mini on the screen when you do that, but that's fine.
Oh, whoops.
I got you, dog. Who is the higher dex, Pudge or Jack?
Probably Pudge. I have a 16. I mean, I have a 14 dex. Sorry.
He usually has a 17. He's hurting right now. No,
Mortifer
sorry, he
has
usually,
a 5.
he usually has, I think, a 19 or something, but he's hurting
I have 16.
currently.
So you're still higher than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need me to roll again?
Nope, you're good. You get to go first, technically. So you see this form appear in front of you, inside this obsidian geode,
Mhm.
floating in front of the body that's over there, being pinned by this and the other.
Yeah.
You don't have to act first. You can, if you see Jack's about to do something, you could be like, "I hold my turn till after Jack."
But feel free to act. Don't worry about me.
You don't have to do that.
I am going to. During my turn, can I kind of interact with Jack a little bit or no?
Yep. So this is nothing ridiculous. Let's call it 25 words or less between the two of you. You guys
Okay.
are more than welcome to have free conversation.
So I Did I already? I already had an arrow knocked, didn't I? Oh
I
wait,
think
but
so.
that sort of like cancels that, doesn't it? Because I was using a torch and like climbing around and shit.
I mean, the torch could have been handed to Mortifer, or sorry, to Jack.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I am going to. Shit, I still don't have any power at all. I'm gonna do the good 1, 2, 3. But as I'm sort of knocking the first arrow, I'm gonna just like look towards Jack, just because I still am like kind of confused because of the whole thing of like them saying about this feeling that they had or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like still kind of confused. So I just sort of like knock the arrow a little bit and look towards Jack, just for like a nod of approval that I should like try and fuck this guy up.
Gotcha. Jack wants to try and talk to it to see if there's any reason, or if it's just literally burning hatred incorporealized.
Mm-hmm.
Could he just hold his turn till after mine? That's all he has to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that's there for the future.
So basically, you hold your turn till after mine. I'll go first. Then if I fail, you'll have the immediate next action to fire an arrow.
Cool. So I'll keep my stuff knocked, but I'll just sort of like take a step back. And
Okay.
I'll be ready.
Jack's plan is to just throw his hands up, to show like no harm, like I'm not here to harm, and genuinely speak to him and say like, I understand your pain and your hatred, that you were left here via an unfortunate accident and have never been put down to rest. We're here to help you, to rescue you from this hatred.
It doesn't seem to respond to you just saying those words.
Trying to think if there's something I can do here. I have an idea. It may backfire horrendously. And it could make everything worse, but that's okay. Let me I just kind of very quickly put myself on the other side of the corner. I'm going to perfect mimic Jane. Now, this is a gamble, because if he hates Jane, means Pudge is going to have to just unload an arrow. But if I can make a connection that way, we may be able to calm him down before anything happens. I will also burn a mythic point to make sure I am in Jane's mind and I can read her surface thoughts. It genuinely just gives me a bonus to pretending to be her, basically. That'll bring me down 2 mythic points. And what you all see is very similar like before. I just step back. It's not super magical. It's like my hair gets a little longer. I kind of weirdly just grow. It's not like a flash of magic. It just is an alteration of my physical being. And I'll perfect mimic Jane, and I will try to make that plea. I'm basically saying like, I'm so sorry I left you here. It was an accident. We dug too deep. We got too greedy, and you paid the ultimate price. I'm here to atone for that. Let me lay you to rest, Jadra. As her. I don't know if he'll understand, but we'll see.
Roll a disguise check for me.
Do I want to burn and do? I should just burn it and do a
Then
natural
your bluff
20.
check for me.
Now the bluff check is the question of what I want to burn this now or not. It'll be my last mythic point, but I already.
Disguise check.
Yep. So it's all automatic 20. It's a 26. It's disguise. Bluff. I think I'm gonna gamble, and then if I need to, maybe I'll burn a surge, my last mythic point, and add a 1d8. But at plus 16, it's pretty solid, so long as I roll average. So here we go. Please.
Cross your fingers.
Please.
No.
Oh.
Oh, you see it skip
Yes.
on 15. It was like,
Yeah.
damn. Just good.
But I mean, at 23 is not terrible. I'm curious. Let me look at Perfect Mimic real quick and see exactly what it does mechanically. Perfect Mimic. Here it is. Granting me a further plus 10 bonus on opposed disguise skill check. So it doesn't actually help me with my bluff. The target of your impersonation, she gets a will save to negate the detect thoughts if you want.
Yep. But she's not within range.
She's not within a mile?
Within a mile? No, because you're pretty far.
Okay.
And then don't forget, detect spells and stuff like that are all stopped by things like stone and wood.
That's true. All right, I'll burn my last mythic point. I'll lose. I'll fall to the mortality, and I'll feel myself lose it and understand.
I'm assuming I feel him. losing, so-
Of course. 24 total.
Wonderful.
24 bluff. I mean, it's still not a terrible bluff, but it's just not a phenomenal bluff.
And I didn't even tell you the last thing you have to do is
Yeah, what is it?
diplomacy.
Okay, I'm okay on diplomacy as well. Just don't roll like I did. Ooh. That was really...
It's like, what?
Ooh, baby, baby, baby.
Oh, that was amazing. Oh, wow. Okay.
Scary.
Oh. All right, so you go through your lines. You say everything you did. You transform to exactly like her. You give a bluff to a 24 bluff to like hide your true motive and to make your lies seem believable because there is a bit of a twisted truth you're throwing in there.
Yeah, of course.
But also diplomacy to my apologies, convince the thing. Like, what was the last line you said? Sorry.
I basically apologize for leaving him behind, and I want to atone for that mistake.
That's right. You convincing him to not just straight out attack.
Right.
So when you turn into her at first, as soon as you turn into her, you can see his eyes narrow. You can see the rage running across the face. You're about to see it let out one of those screams. You can see it welling up. You can feel it in your essence. But at the same time that happens, when you drain yourself, you feel lesser.
Yep.
It also sees you as lesser.
Which is probably a good thing, because Jane is not greater.
And you say your words, and they're soothing. Soothing enough that the rage is kind of put down. You know when somebody's angry, they're on the verge of just flipping their fucking shit, but they're holding it together?
And then they have angry sex, then afterward they're great.
All right, well.
Chafing.
All right.
And so you can see he's barely holding it together, but he is. He's holding it together. And he says, "Why?"
Panic. I don't know what he's asking why to. My assumption he's asking why I left him here, or why she left him here. Panic. Save those that I could.
You never cared about other lives. Only ours.
He said you never cared about other lives, only ours.
My God, they are the Lannisters.
She shakes her head. Without them, our worker numbers would dwindle and this place would fade into obscurity. And we'd have no place to live, no life to lead.
It wasn't a collapse. It wasn't a collapse. It happened. Something happened here that night. Something happened here that night. I wasn't supposed to be in the tunnels that night, but you sent me to the tunnels. You sent me to them because you were angry.
And it was a mistake. I wasn't planning on killing you. That... I promise. I just wanted to get you out of my sight for the night.
I told you time and time again. I had never touched the girl. I had never spent any time with the girl that wasn't with others.
I will put on an act as tears well up in my eyes. And I see that now, but it took the loss of your life for me to realize that, and I can never repay that debt. I can only attempt to now.
I just sort of like lean over to Mortifer and I'm like, damn, this shit's really deep.
You can see that he's just angry. And he's like, so it takes my suffering? And he literally, the spirit moves to the side a little and gestures towards the body. And
Yeah.
it's clearly somehow still alive.
Yeah.
He's like, takes my suffering for you to feel bad for the mistakes that you made?
I
For
didn't...
all that suffered from your mistakes?
You'll see Jack kind of cower, maybe even shrink a little as he yells. And I'll reply, if I had known you were suffering, I would have been here much, much, much sooner. This is news I discovered only today, and so today I am here to, as I said before, atone for my sins, Jadra. There's nothing more I can do. What more can I do?
I don't know. I want to die. I want to leave this, but something won't let me. I'm stuck here. I've got something inside of me. There's something that pulls me apart. I feel it. I'm always healing and always dying and always healing. That's so much power to me. And I can't let it go. Ever since that night.
I have friends here who can help you. I can let you rest. I can put you to sleep. I can take that constant ripping apart and putting together away. Do you trust me, though?
Oh.
You have to.
Gonna get a diplomacy check on that.
All right, here we go.
That's a.
That's an Aladdin right there. It's a 21.
Is there any way you can modify that, Michael?
I don't think so.
He's like, do you? Hold on.
Let me glug glug glug. No, that's a lie. I can modify it. I can modify it. I can modify it by +6
No.
if I had done this beforehand, but I can't do it afterward.
What was it?
Oil of charisma +6 base charisma skills. I have 4 oils of that.
That literally be looked at the pantomiming. It was just doing.
I'd be like, oh. The other thing I do is I can quickly throw Keef in my mouth. Is it Keef that helps, or is it no Silver Tongue? I can quickly throw a dose of Silver Tongue in my mouth. I can drug myself.
Yeah, how quickly can you drug yourself though?
It's just it's literally I line my teeth with it. I can be like, as I'm like cowering, I just can line my teeth with it. It doesn't say
Maybe like a
what
stealth
action it
check or
is.
Yeah, I was gonna say sleight of hand. Usually, using drugs is a standard unless you have an ability that makes it swifter.
Oh, sleight of hand. Okay. Holy
Did that
Jesus!
dance?
Yeah, that
That's
danced
forever.
hard. That danced really hard.
What does
Yeah,
it do for you?
There was a lot of emotions on that.
What does it do? Is you're like,
Let's see.
I love the chat. Why is Keith going?
Yeah, Keith is going into my mouth. It literally is just a plus 1d2 alchemical charisma effect for 1d4 hours, and +2 on bonus saves against mind affecting effects. But it just helps me loosen my tongue a little bit, so it can give me a 1 or a 2 additional on top of what I rolled, which is, so it can bring me to 22 or 23. Did it do it? 22. It's a 50-50.
okay, so you're a little
That's
drugged
it.
up.
That's all I got. That's all I can do.
Okay.
And that's my last Silver Tongue dose, so let me delete that. There we
Okay.
go.
And so you say like, do you trust me?
Yep.
And there's a moment. There's a moment where you can feel the honing, the humming, the throughout the obsidian. The obsidian, you feel like almost like this frequency should be enough to make it shatter, but it's not. It's not shattering. It's almost like it should be shattering, but it can't. Two of you have seen him shatter obsidian before, but maybe he just can't shatter this obsidian. Otherwise, he would have been able to get out at this point, whatever. Right. So, anyways, you can heal those vibrations, feel those vibrations, those good vibrations, and
Good vibration.
There it is. Yeah,
now I forgot what her response was. So you had said like, do you trust me?
Yeah.
A response finally saying, at one point I did, but now I'm not sure I do.
You can kill me here. Lay my body on the ground and see my corpse rot to a skeleton before your very eyes. But that won't stop you from healing and dying over and over again.
But it could be satisfying, he says, as you see like shards start
Yeah.
to like form in front of him.
Staying as helpless as possible. This is my only shot here. And that satisfaction will last how long? A week? A month? A year? A decade? And what happens 100 years from now? Where you are still being ripped apart and healing. And I am long but dust.
It's like the whirlwind of shards that he
Yep.
summoned beforehand. That's in
God.
front of him. Is holding there. Stops. Still whirling, whatever, but stops like gathering energy or moving or anything like that. Just is there, and you can see that he's thinking for a second, and then they start to fall, little bits at a time, and then all the shards fall. And he says, "When did you get so wise?"
It's been about 2 months now, hasn't it? Somewhere in there, as I thought about you every night before I fell asleep.
Oh.
fucking making
One
shit up.
tear.
I'm just taking the
One
information
tear
she's
falls
fed
down.
me and the information he's blurred. I'm like, maybe they were lovers, maybe they were friends, but at least I thought about him every night. That works.
You're like a palm reader. You're just trying to gather general.
Yeah, exactly.
Their story.
Duh. Somebody, did you lose somebody? It begins with a J. J, maybe? An M?
One single tear.
I'm a
falls
sham. That's all Jack is he's just a very elaborate sham. He's a con
So-
artist.
Hearing your lines, you can see he says, "Then what's your plan?"
To first lift your body off and give it the burial it deserves. But secondly, there are those who talk about this power that keeps you here as though they understand it. Perhaps they can help put you to eternal rest. But first, you deserve peace, Jadra. Let us at least give that to you.
Wade, want to trade wives?
No. Brittany sounds great, but she's a Patriots fan, and Molly gives me pizza. Why would I trade?
She's a hardcore Patriots fan.
Very.
Like when my daughter was like a cute little just out of the womb baby, she'd be like, "I don't give a fuck if it's crying. The
Mike,
Pats are
can
on."
you text Brittany that Scott's trying to trade her for my wife?
I don't know if I want to
There's
rouse.
no proof. There's no proof.
Yeah, very true. Don't clip that,
Actually,
chat.
there is.
Don't clip
Clip
it.
There's no proof. So anyways.
So the plan is basically bring Mortifer in. While his body is there, we need to kill him. We actually have to bring him down to negative whatever. So while he's lifeless, just collapse, take his head off, collapse his skull.
That's them. So in the
Yeah.
conversation, you say we need to release your body, and blah blah blah. He's like,
But we have to kill him first. He has to die first.
no, that's out of game, in game. So she says, so he responds saying, "I've tried to shatter them. They don't break."
What if we killed you permanently while you rested upon them?
I'm willing to try.
And for that, I can never be more thankful than I am now. Pudge, Mortifer, was it? Could you please come in here?
You can see, literally, he's just kind of looks at the two that are there, recognizes who they are, and recognizes the fight.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the rage start to well across his face again.
Like, when I see that, Jack will turn to him. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know you're here.
Start a diplomacy check.
Sure.
Do Mortifer and I, were we overhearing this whole thing? We were, right?
You are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanna make
I still have Keyfon, so... Because it lasts a little while. 1d2, baby. Here it comes.
My favorite dice. It's called a coin in real life.
I know. Hey, 22!
I really wish that Roll20 had that. Like
A D2-sided... A coin? Like flip a
like
coin?
A coin, like a,
Yeah, that would be great.
that'd be cool. Like, why don't they add that? Come on, Roll20. Actually, I'm in a campaign with somebody that works for Roll20 on Monday nights now. My first session is this upcoming Monday night, so I'll ask him. Eric, why? Why isn't there a coin? So, yeah, the okay.
That's
He's just nods.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys can hear... You guys saw me turn into her, walk in, have the whole conversation. I wasn't doing it, like, whispered. So when I call you in, I kind of, like, am looking meek. I'm looking like Jane. Mortifer, Pudge. We wish to attempt to put him to rest permanently. To his body, there's a power in it that keeps him alive. Mortifer, you are the strongest, and Pudge, you are the most nimble I've ever seen, and wield a blade and a bow and arrow magnificently. Please, could you please let Jadra rest? And I kind of step aside and let you walk to the body. Ideally, Mortifer's gonna crack the skull. Maybe you could slit his throat. I don't friggin' know, but
Yeah.
Jane wouldn't
You
know.
have fought valiantly for a warrior. Mortifer has come closer to death fighting you and your rockmen than anything else he has ever fought. He will show he's got the axe, and he'll show he's got them all. Which death?
You
would
probably
prefer?
know that the axe would be better for severing a head.
Yeah.
Versus
I
a
would.
mouth.
It's a matter of whether once it's smashed or severed. I'm giving him the.
Oh, he's giving them the option. I gotcha.
He looks dispassionate.
Mortifer would prefer the axe too, so he'll take the axe.
Pudge sort of speaks up, and he's like, I am good with a bow. I could try and just take one shot through your skull if you'd like.
You can see there's currently obsidian literally shoved through his skull.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Perhaps one to the heart, Pudge, and I will remove the head.
One of each, to be sure.
Let's do it.
You can see with a lot of effort, he reaches down with his hands and he's really trying, trying to move the obsidian that's inside of this geode just enough that Mortifer can like get like a couple steps in. It doesn't even like eliminate the spikes, just shifts them ever so slightly, just enough that Mortifer can again get like a step or two precariously in there. There's one that's just barely poking up in an uncomfortable spot. Anyways, so he can, with his reach weapon, still be able to reach over and hit this guy.
Good luck.
All right. So I'm going to attack with the axe.
Si, senor. Now, it is a coup de grace. He's unconscious. She's automatically hit, automatically crit.
So do crit damage, baby.
For you, it's a coup de grace because it's melee.
And then do you want
How
what
do
about
I
Pudge?
crit the axe on here then?
Just roll damage. As normal. And take the one to the right.
Jesus Christ.
71.
Does Pudge like let go an arrow right as the axe comes down?
Yeah.
But you have to
Can
make an
I,
attack roll.
because I'm small, can I get really close? Can I like basically like be like borderline right next to his heart and just sort of like release an arrow into him?
You like straddle stand on top, like on some obsidian
Yeah.
over him? I don't know.
Yeah, I can see. Actually, I can see Mortifer even just like reaching down and kind of like helping you over first.
Yeah.
To get up to a spot.
Yeah. So I'm just sort of just like on top of his chest, just like knock an arrow. So you said roll damage?
What's that? 32 plus the kinetic burst, which is the important thing here. Of a 14, 71, 32 is 100 and 140. Sorry, 117.
Wow.
Can I expend kinetic focus or my sonic focus to do that extra 46, like make it
Sure.
magic?
Sure.
I meant to say that before. Whenever I actually came to do it, I forgot.
Sure. You can also pump 2 power points into your crystal to make it do another 2d6.
That makes it Is that what makes it magical?
Both of them work and make it so it's plus 66. You're what, 117 I just said?
I just want to make it magical just in case because of the everything else.
So 117 becomes 132.
I was less worried about the damage numbers and more so the type of damage.
I got you. So, kablooey. That's what it does. Oh, it says 2 of those d6 you actually couldn't do because it's not your crystal, it's your axe. So,
Oh yeah. Okay.
129. Either way. So, ouchies is what you guys do. You sever the head as you shoot the heart at the same exact time, severing this thing. And you can actually see the spear itself is kind of like, and it just kind of like dissipates. And it dissipates back into the crystal. But the physical form itself, which usually tries to heal, is literally trying to heal itself in front of you guys. But both of you are smart enough that you kind of like, you know, watching over it, watching the wounds, the head literally just trying, like, by the stone itself, lift up. Mortimer just kind of like stomps down on the head and keeps it down there. Ends the arrow that's inside the body. It's starting to be pushed out. You can have, what's his name? Pudge. Grabbing the back of the arrow and holding the arrow inside there, so it's like it's fighting against it, so it stays pushed in. And the bodies, you can feel it like fighting you harder and harder and harder. And of course, you have Jane, as they call her, off to the side watching this whole thing. Jack, I imagine, actually like with a wry smile. And
Oh yeah, at this point, hell yeah. I'm tempted to drop it, but I'm not going to just in case.
when you see the body itself, this is for 2 of you. The body itself then loses all of its color and becomes this off-white color, this familiar off-white color, one that you used to see very often when you traveled with a different person. And then that form also kind of gets absorbed into the obsidian, and you can see the obsidian around you all has this kind of mystic glow to it that's swirling throughout it. You can feel that the spirit is not here anymore. You can feel that the person clearly has died. They're not here anymore. But there is a certain power that still exists inside this geode.
Well, we know. Yeah. Go ahead.
I look towards Jack and I'm just like, we gotta have a drink, pal. You got a long story to tell me.
Jack, recognizing what's happening, knowing we are basically full, we've tried to hold more than what we have and we can't. You see the disguise kind of simply disappear as Jack becomes Jack. And then he looks to Pudge and has a smile. Oh, your night's just starting, buddy. Mortifer, let's get out of this room. And you see Jack scramble for the hole as he winks at Pudge.
Mortifer will follow, and then he'll be like, Jack, I don't feel it right now.
For whatever the reason, it's not ours. We couldn't take more than what we took from Einar. There was others that just that exploded elsewhere. It doesn't matter. But Pudge, if it needs a place to go. I don't know these miners and these slaves from a hole in the wall, and granted, I've only known Pudge 2 days.
He did not eat Mortifer, and he is a capable warrior. Mortifer thinks this is a good idea.
As long as Pudge sticks with us, we can watch him as well. If he does anything wrong, we can put him down.
Yes,
Wait,
that's
are you
true.
saying put Pudge down?
Oh, yeah, after we leave the room.
But Pudge, he says you're back to start. They leave the room. You guys can finish your conversation before I get back to you.
Yeah. So just saying, like, we left the room to sit down and looking to Mortifer. It's our best insurance. If we let this power go, we don't know where it's going to end up. It's clear when Einar deceased that it needs a place to go. It doesn't dissipate into nothingness. There's a great possibility, perhaps even better than 90%, that this power is here because of what happened. How many months ago did that happen? Exactly. So he's like, if it goes to Pudge, Pudge stays with us. We keep an eye on him.
Better Pudge than something evil.
And he nods enthusiastically. Exactly. Now take cover. And you see me kind of like curl next to a wall and just like push myself up against it because this shit ain't gonna be peaceful.
Pudge. They're like, your night's just getting started, buddy. And they turn and they, come on, let's go. And they leave you. And you're inside this horribly wicked, jagged, awful fucking obsidian geode that Mortifer literally picked you up and put you over into a spot so you can stab the body. And you're in there by yourself like, how do I get back out? Everything's everywhere. And there's this funky looking essence flowing through, almost like a off-white essence that's floating through this otherwise obsidian, which is darker than dark, shards all around you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
All right.
Guys?
How tall?
Guys!
This whole geode, if it didn't have any spikes whatsoever, the whole sphere would be a 20-foot diameter sphere.
Okay. And how tall though? Like, could I use some
20 feet
to
from bottom to top, but that's assuming no spikes. With spikes, it's way less than that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You could try to acrobatics your way out of here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Mortifer, guard the door. Don't let him out. He's like, I'm out. And then there's a boot. Get back in there.
Do you have any way of modifying your roll? Anything that you can do?
I don't think so.
You do now. You start making your way through the area, doing the best you can. It's like jump and hop and make your way about as much as you can. And you're getting pretty close to the door. Sometimes you take 2 steps backwards to take 3 steps forward, right? But you're making your way close to the door. And you're finally almost there. Why the fuck did they leave me in here? Yeah. And then that's when you are making your way and you like lean to go grab one spot. As you lean to go grab a spot, it's like you grab onto one of the spikes and just barely prick your thumb with the tip of an obsidian spike. And it's like, you feel it. And then you look up to like see it. It's almost one of those, you look up to like pull your thumb off so like you can see how bad you like stab yourself or you're bleeding, whatever. But as you look up to see that, you don't even get to pull your thumb out. You can see all of the essence that was all around this sphere comes swarming so quickly, quicker than you can blink your eye, and just starts pouring through that one little spike and into your actual finger. The force of this ends up throwing you backwards and into the spikes behind you. You are literally caught and being stabbed by tons of these spikes. The spikes all around you are actually starting to come in and move towards you and shatter and cut into you. And they're literally you can feel them closing in. The actual sphere itself is closing in and sealing up around that hole that Mortifer had cut in beforehand, seals up, and just the amount of pain, the agony, everything. It hurts. It's killing you. It's literally killing you. And you can feel it happening. You're just letting out these horrible screams, which you guys out in the hallway hear, until, of course, that bit of the sphere finishes sealing up.
Just like, it's his first time.
And it finishes sealing up, which cuts out the screams so you can't hear it. So it's not even like the screams end. It's like, ah! And it just stops because, it's sealed up. And then time passes. And you guys just wait a little bit. And eventually you're like, it's been at least an hour.
Yeah.
He's got to be okay, right?
No, he's probably slammed into some jagged obsidian. I'm just going to send Mortifer in to lift the corpse off of it, basically, if that's where it is. He'll heal.
You go over there, a couple sprays of potions.
Yep.
Mortifer hacking away at the thing and having your miners assist with it this time, because let's be serious, And when you go into there, what you find is conscious and in pain, but not fully aware of his surroundings because he's incapable of doing so. You sense Pudge more, not quite where you are, but more than he was, and certainly more than those around you. Maybe even more than you at the moment, maybe. Either way, you can sense him there as he's lying there, not in the horrible shit show that the other guy was, but literally skewered in a whole bunch of spikes. Mortifer, you're able to do exactly as he said. Grab him and lift him out of the spikes. And as you guys take him out of the actual chamber that held all of the obsidian together.
Is that guy's head still intact on the ground?
No, the whole thing discorporeated. Okay. As you pull him out of the geode of all the obsidian spikes, the spikes themselves shatter and then crumble into obsidian dust that fills the bowl at the bottom.
As Mortifer walks out with the body, a semi-conscious or conscious Pudge in his hand, as I kind of gesture to let's get out of the mines, I just look to Pudge. Long night of drinks, I think.
What just happened?
And holding my hand. Welcome to power, little friend.
And you said that Pudge is kind of barely conscious right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I think at that point, if he's barely conscious, he would just let it. He would just let it go at that point.
It was we'll have some drinks and then you just slip.
Yeah. He's not even able to he's not even able to process what just happened. He doesn't know why. He doesn't know what happens in the first place. He just knows that it was so much pain and you guys let it happen.
Yep.
And he's so confused as to why you didn't warn him. And because he knows that you knew it was going to happen.
Yep. There's a lot.
So he just sort of lets himself drift off.
And he'll have to deal with that when he wakes and sees those who left him by his bedside. But until then, that's perfectly 1 a.m.
Oh, Pudge. Poor Pudge.
Oh, no. Pudge will not be poor Pudge after this is all said and done. Pudge will be good Pudge.
Chat, to give you context for those of you, however long anybody's been watching, the last session was my first session. So not only does Pudge not know what's going on, I don't know what's going on either. So
you will.
It's also someone in the chat was like, Ethan, you look kind of shook. I am. I have no idea what's happening. What's happening to my poor boy?
And that's what's great is our characters, Jack and Mortifer, are still trying to kind of figure out what the hell happened to them 2 months later. So it makes sense that Pudge would have no fucking idea what the hell's going on.
Your body's still intact. Whenever we went through it,
oh man, we
were fully disintegrated.
I think I actually did die at some point during that fight, and my body, my soul got shoved into the astral plane or some nonsense.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
did that. That was you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I chose to do that. All right. Well, Ethan, welcome to Mythic, baby. And we'll return. Are we playing next week or are we skipping a week next week?
I could do next week. I can't do the week
I'm
after.
DTF.
Can you do next week, Ethan? Next Thursday or no?
I should be able to.
All right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it off camera.
I won't
Don't
be
worry
here
about
the
it.
5th. I can be here next week, though.
No problem. All right. Well, we'll go around the room. People will shill, and then we'll head out of here. So we'll start with the newly confused Pudge. Crank, what's going on, man? Where can people find you this week? What do you got
My
going
Pudge
on?
is always confused.
That's true.
It's always confusing. You can find me on the internet pretty much everywhere as Crank Gameplays. I do stuff on YouTube and I stream mostly gaming stuff. Yeah, all of my social media and all of my handles are just Crank Gameplays. So if you want to check out the stuff that I do, go there.
Sweet. Wait, what about you? You shilled literally last night. Shill again.
All right. I'm still Wade, Lord Minion 777 on YouTube, Minion 777 on Twitch. I'm Lord Minion 777 or a variation thereof in most places, but people like to steal my name and whatever. I don't know why they let Ethan have his, but whatever. That's the way life goes. So, yeah, you can find me here every Wednesday, every other Thursday. Though hopefully next Thursday as well, back for more Dark Sun. Every Tuesday, hopefully starting next week, we'll get back to doing a podcast. Mark and Bob and I. Ethan's been a guest on there with us.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get back to doing that next week. I will let you all know on social media. And my house likes to leak on me. That's it.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, I like to leak on you too.
Yeah, Scott is literally my house.
It's true.
An old piece of shit that should have been torn down, but yet it's still there leaking.
All right.
What about you, Scott? What do you got going on?
Let's see. This upcoming Monday over on Maggie's channel, I'm starting. I have my solo session for a new campaign. That's Warhammer, Wrath and
Ooh,
Glory.
okay.
So fun there. I am playing
40K or just flat Warhammer? I'm curious.
Wrath and Glory. So 40K.
So that's just okay, cool.
Yeah, or 41K, I think technically.
So yeah, the future one. Cool.
So they didn't trust me with just being a straight commissar because I don't have a ton of experience in the universe. So
Mhm.
I'm like a commissar apprentice.
Ooh.
So that's fun. I still won't kill you. And then let's see. I have a new campaign that's starting out on Friday nights in just a couple of weeks. It's gonna be in my homebrew world called Aurorum. I already have a campaign running there called Kingmaker. This new one is going to be called Regicide. They do coincide in the same universe at the same time and will directly impact one another. Because, nothing like Kingmaker and nothing like Regicide should ever be separated, right? And other stuff I do.
Sweet. Well, if you guys want to check out this show stuff, if you are a subscriber, VODs will be available immediately after. If not, it'll be for free. Available to watch on YouTube for free 24 to 48 hours later at the same channel name, just on YouTube itself. If you want to directly support the show, you can do so at Patreon down below. And in doing
yeah,
so...
at Patreon, don't forget, you can always make a magic item or something like that specifically has the ability to bring Trini back to life on Wednesday nights.
That's true.
So-
You could do it.
so-
Or you can make good stuff for us because you really
Remember,
like.
what's dead may never die.
What's dead may
never okay.
Maggie, thank you for the last minute raid. We love you, but we're moving
I
on
know,
as
I
well.
was just talking about you.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
We end here.
We'll be back next Wednesday with more Return to Faerun. Until then, goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.